What's going on, Future D, Emmanuel Crib, him? Today is December the 4th. I'm at Conserboy School at Reedy Creek. It's 1:15 now. Came here to eat lunch with him. And about an hour. Yeah, about an hour, maybe we'll say hour and a half before I came to eat lunch with him, I was informed that I've been laid off. Of course it catches you off guard. It isn't my first time. It's been 8 years though. It's been 8 years since the last time, 2016, when I was working for Project Challenge with the kids. And I mean, it's scary, you know. Like, that time I would say was significantly easier than this time. I only had one kid. I think my rent was like $450 or something like that. And I still had my Rex in a part-time job. So it was like, I just got the job, I think, man, let me see, a little less than a year and a half prior. I think I started in February of 2015. And they let me go the last week of like June 2016. And it was like, as far as money goes, I wasn't working. So it was like, okay, back to what I was doing before. It looked like I didn't inflate my lifestyle. This time is a bit different. Man, 2024 has just been a year. This has really been a roller coaster year. You know, we was in a relationship. Well, I mean, the relationship was over, but still cohabitating with my ex. We were still living at Lake Hill Apartments. Rent was like $11.80, which was, you know, and literally the money I get for the boys could pay the rent, and then it was like I could have covered whatever else. So, you know, we got more bills now. We moved into a house. Rent, like I said, is higher. I was driving the Audi that I got from my pops. 2012 Audi Q5 that, man, gave me, I appreciate it for what it was. I appreciate what he tried to do, but it dang sure gave me more trouble. I put as much money into it as it cost me, and it's sitting in the garage now. So we are currently sitting in a Honda Pilot that I brought 2 weeks ago exactly. I bought it, I think, Tuesday before last or something like that. So now I got a car payment. I got more rent. Again, you know, nobody I'm cohabitating with to help with the bills. And it's just a shocker. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a kick in the nuts a little bit. Make your stomach hurt. Kind of get choked up. It's scary, you know. If I'm being honest, financially, I don't have... I ain't got a month's worth of savings. Like, I don't have a bunch of money saved up, you know. Like, I got a little bit of money in the 401k or whatever, and so I'll take that. That might cover it'd be like a month rent, pretty much. The 401k, what I get after the penalties and 10%. But I know I can roll it into an hour, but I don't know what's gonna come of it. I know at minimum that'll be about a month's worth of rent that I have there. They're gonna pay me. I get paid tomorrow, and then they're gonna continue to pay me to the 13th. So it's 10 days, not a full, well, not even 10 full days, like a week, another week worth of money or whatever that I'll get in like a check. And then they said that I qualify for the severance package is a month. So with the severance package, them paying me to the 13th, like, I'll be good. You know, I got the bills to cover December or whatever, and I just paid rent, so that's good. So like, your check that comes tomorrow, the only thing that sucks is, like, you know, man, it's Christmas, and I damn sure planned on, you know, getting situated and doing more for the kids for Christmas. So that part kind of sucked. Like, again, hey, Christmas miracles happen. I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna grind, and the minute I get my tag, man, I'm going to lift. I'm committing to 8 hours a day. I'm gonna lift 8 hours a day, try to get out of busy hours. I can get XL rides. Man, it's gonna be Emmanuel Airport Townsend. I'm Charlotte Douglas Townsend. I'm gonna be at the airport. So, you know, like I say, it's kind of shocking. It's a sucky way to end the year. I'm optimistic though. Like I say, finances is usually what worry me, and so I'm glad that I did. And like I say, you know, I left their 401k over there. They're gonna pay me. I get paid tomorrow, so that's just paying the little bills. Then they're gonna pay me pretty much another week, so that'll be like $1,000 or something like that that I'll get. So they'll pay me that. I'll cash out from the Fidelity account because hell, ain't no reason to leave it in there. I need the money more than I need the, you know, what's going in the account. So take that money out. Like I said, take the 401k, roll that. I don't know how long that'll take, but that'll give me a month, even though I'll have the money to pay this month. So you got, let me see, all the money I have. I get paid tomorrow to pay the bills. I get paid again in 2 weeks, a week's worth or whatever. So that'll be like $1,000, right around $1,000. The severance package is a month, so like I said, that'll handle January. And then if I use the severance package to cover January, and then what else? The 401k is coming, and I still get my bonus. It's just pretty much the last 3.5 weeks. It'll be short that, so still not the full bonus, but like 97% or something like that. So like I said, as far as the house, I know I got the house covered, knock on wood. Even if I didn't work, I got money to cover the house for the next December, January, I say February. So I'm covered for the next 3 months as far as that goes. That's right, running right into tax time. And that's if I didn't, you know, because what I said I paid rent for December, so the severance package, and then my bonus. Both of those should be, yeah. I mean, well, the severance the severance alone, depending on how this play out, I might be covered till March. Cause with the severance, if it's a month's worth of money, and I just use that for just rent, I can pay my rent twice. So I could pay the rent twice. I don't know, man. Like, again, you know, like it sucks a little bit, especially like the thing that sucks the most is they came looking for me for this job because I'd excelled and did so well in 2022 on a contract. And so 2023, when Jacob got his hiring powers and they had the, he got his hiring powers and they got the budget. They got the budget. They had the money. Like I said, leaving high school from eating lunch, they got the money in the budget to hire on for the position I did in 2022 permanently. And he reached out to the recruiter, Brittany, and was like, "Hey, find an Emmanuel guy. See if he still, you know, wants to work. If he still needs a job, whatever." And so, like I said, that worked out. And so, like I said, that's the only part that sucked. But I don't know, like, again, all this is on me. The position I'm in now is 100% on me because like I said, no, I had a plan. And I planned to execute it. So the plan was to get to my bonus, because I didn't know how that worked. Now, if I knew that with the bonus, like they would pay it out even if I left, then I would have been applying places. But I wasn't applying places. Like I said, just little hiccups here at the end of the year, man. But with all in all, how 2024 went, I'm still optimistic that 2025 is gonna be one of the best years. Asterisk, cause drama gone. So drama gone. You know, some things ain't gonna be as great as they could be. But I still think 2025 is gonna be a great year. And with this ending, and me going into at least I got another, like I said, 3.5 weeks. So I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna have a job. Between now and 2025, I'm claiming that I am gonna have one. I'm manifesting and speaking it into the universe. And I know the old lady got me too. I have a job by the start of the year, but I have no excuse to not be pushing. I've always said I was an entrepreneur and didn't know where to pour, and I found that bookkeeping, you know, is it. So I'm gonna lick my wounds today. Nas got karate tonight, but tomorrow, honestly, I have nothing on my agenda / to-do list. I think when the day started, last hopped on the scale, I was like 210, somewhere between the scale fluctuated between 210 and 212. And I did say I wanted to get under 200. With 3 weeks left, being in a caloric deficit. If I don't get there, I can get pretty dang close. So I'm gonna eat well. I'm gonna hit the gym, and I'm excited, man. Like I said, I won't sit here and pump fake and pretend like being laid off and not having, consistent for short income isn't scary. It is. Like, again, I gotta feed Mike, I gotta feed Ty, I gotta feed Nas, I gotta feed Gabe when he come. I'll be having to get a little bit. I got a lot of people I'm responsible for. So like I said, this time is way different than 8 years ago when it was, just me and then Gabe 6 months, and my bills were just significantly cheaper, and I still had a part-time now. Don't get me wrong. Thankful for this beautiful car that we're in. I call her Karen because she white. But I'm hoping, the hope was that Karen paid for herself, but I really need, this month, I need you to, we got to bring in some money this month. Like I said, no panic, man. We're going to be all right. I ain't counting my chickens before they hatch. I know for sure, like I say, with just the 401k, the severance, and all that, I'm good through January, if not February. So, like I said, we'll have a roof over our head. I'll get out here and I'll be driving something and cover the rest of the bills, but we okay. But I didn't have these moments documented, going through other times when things have occurred, good or bad, and I wish I had. So that may be, what I do now. Like, I'm not a social media guy, so, I don't post stuff to YouTube or any social media platforms, but just to be able to come back to myself and, just like I say, there's been other times where I've taken pictures of certain moments. So like when I see certain moments, I know exactly where I was, or I know why I took it. But this time I was like, no, let's I have the freedom and the space, and let's talk about it. Like I said, it was kind of tough to put on a smile and come in here and have a good day with my son. But I wasn't gonna let something so small, just a blip on the radar. Since, if you want to go back 10 years would have been 2014. I just graduated college from UNC Charlotte a year before, and because of the situation that were out of my control and the way of the world, I think 2014, I still didn't have a full-time job. I think it's December now, so by the end of the year, I had got a little security gig I was doing on the weekends, right? Got the security job I was doing on the weekends, and I think, I was making like $16 an hour. No, he finessed me. I think I was supposed to make 16, and somehow we came out to like maybe 12, 13. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I got a check stub at the house. That's irrelevant to the story. But, like I said, I graduated college, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, thinking that, cool, I have a job in no time because of the arrest or whatever. I got arrested by a dirty cop, whatever. Can't undo it, can't go back. But because of that, I couldn't get a full-time job. And I'm applying places. Just couldn't get my foot in the door nowhere, long story short or whatever. And so I was applying to security companies because my degree is in criminal justice, and, couldn't get in anywhere. And I had a sister. It was a black-owned security company. And I don't know, man. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm going through and I'm doing an interview. It's a wife and a husband. The wife, she's like, open and receptive, and we're having dialogue, and I can see, like, if it's up to her, I'm not, I don't count eggs before they hatch. So not that I would have the job, but I would, a considered candidate. But the husband interview, like, man, get this motherfucker out of my face. I ain't rocking with him. He not getting this job. And it's like this nasty energy. I'm like, damn, did I do something to this man? Have I ran into him before? And so leaving out of there, it was like, I'm 25%. My chances of getting a job is 20 to 25%, because I feel like, they say in a marriage, you're a union, and y'all supposed to be on the same team. And I just feel like in that moment or instance, that man was the head of his family. You know, it's almost say it's supposed to be. And although his wife might have felt like, you know, get this guy a chance, he was like, nah, he's not good for our business and for what we're doing. It's what it is, you know. But the HR lady let me know. She was like, yeah, she called personally to let me know, like, you know, you weren't hired, you are taken out of consideration, just wanted to let you know. And I was like, all right, appreciate it. You know, I kind of told her about that as far as the owner, the husband, like not rocking with me, like, damn, I feel like I did something to him. She was like, nah, I wasn't that. You was already a long shot to even get an interview because you had those pending charges. Companies would rather hire somebody that has been to prison, got out, and doesn't have anything pending than to deal with someone that doesn't have a criminal record or never been to jail but has pending charges. Because the thing is, they train you, they hire you, they bring you in, and then you go to court, you lose the case, and you got to go to jail. Now they got to replace you anyway. So when she explained it to me, I'm like, makes sense, you know. I can't be offended by that. These people they're trying to fill a role and hopefully get somebody that's going to stay in. They don't want to have to turn around in 3 months, 6 months, a year, however long later. We knew he had this. It's like, you know, egg on their face, they made a bad decision. So I was like, I understood that or whatever. So, but this company, you know, let me slip through the cracks and, hey, all right, we're going to hire you, we're going to bring you on, da-da-da, whatever. And I was like, all right, smooth. So, it was another black-owned company, husband and wife. And I remember my first job was at the spot where me and Trav shot pools, right across the little bridge by the Dow Y on Moorhead or whatever. And so went in there, and it was like I think it was a comedy show. I don't think it was a concert. I think it was a comedy show or whatever. And I don't remember. It might have been both. Might have been jazz and comedy or something like that. But it was a good time, you know, just standing there, uniform, suited and booted, whatever. Lucky it wasn't nothing hectic. Did that. The first job was in January. They trained me. I got pepper sprayed. I'm pretty sure I might be able to find a picture. My eyes was all red. That shit ain't it. Like, that is not it. But did that job from January. I'm still working my part-time, working at the rec center, you know, Monday through, whatever days. I'm working doing that. And I feel like it was like July. I think it was like July one day. I'm on site because it was the El Pasano, whatever, across the street on Albemarle Road, right by the Social Security office, and across the street from where Drama lived on Lord Lake. So I've been out there for a couple months, hated it or whatever, then had to pull guns on people, get people out of there, people that got guns, all kind of wild stuff. That was a tough time. Like I said, I could look back and smile and laugh, you know, because that's part of my journey, my testimony, just like today is. And he pulled up on me one day and was like, yeah, hey man, let me get that up off for you. I had a little 9, Smith & Wesson 9 that had issued to me. He took the 9 and was like, yeah, man. They came back to state. I had did all the application and everything, and the thing that the first company with the brother that wasn't rocking with me, with that happening or whatever, pretty much what happened with me on this company is what he knew would happen. Like, this boy got pending charges. The state not gonna prove, you know, him with these charges or whatever. But this company, and the one I ended up working for, I won't drop their name, but you know, I guess they would turn a blind eye to certain stuff that they knew, and this might get us in some trouble, but whatever. Because I remember they had this motherfucker that was like, he shouldn't even been doing security work. He was already doing like bouncing work or whatever, but he'd post as if he'd like got all his credentials from the state as a licensed armed security guard, and he got in the shootout. And like, I don't think the shootout was just, from what I remember, the shootout wasn't justified. And just being out there with him, this big motherfucker was kind of throw, because he was like, it's like he looking forward to a shootout. Like, yeah, that motherfucker say something, or if they act like they gonna do something, then we shooting, you know. Then he already say, you got pimped, you ain't supposed to be out here. Let me get away from him, because I know I ain't supposed to be out here, you know, because I got the pending charges or whatever. But yeah, hell nah. If y'all, I ain't supposed to be here. He damn sure shouldn't be here, but you know, they let him stay or whatever. So, like I said, they let me slip through the cracks, and I appreciate him because they gave me income and, you know, help over that 6-7 month period where I was working with them. So did that and then lost that. So like I said, I was just looking back at where I was at 10 years ago. After I lost that drama, my mom, she had did balloons with my Aunt Linda. And she did that. She did balloons with Aunt Linda. And I remember it was at her shop. Naturally Yours, that's what it was, on Wilkinson. right next to Miss Chris daycare. And I was in there talking to her one day while Linda was teaching her. She was like, "You want to learn?" I was like, "Man, no. I'm a pimp. I'm twisting no balloons." So I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm straight," or whatever. Knowing I need money because I'm only working a part-time job, and if it's 2014, I'm 26 with only a part-time job. Ain't no choice of mine. So like I said, we go through that or whatever, and I remember she did her first event. I think Linda told her to go get 100 ones, so she had change to get people back or whatever. And so I pulled up. It was Barker at the park. I think it was Barker at the park or Festival in the park. I think it was Festival in the park or whatever. And so I pull up on her. I think she had been out there like 2 hours, and I'm like, she might have like $30, $40. You know what I'm saying? She was $10, $15 out, something like that, $20 maybe. So I'm like, how you doing out here? And she was like, "I don't know, I ain't got no more change." And she, not even all the money. I know I saw at least like $200 on eBay. Had $200. That's $100 an hour. Wait a second. If I could have learned right there on the spot, I would have been a twisted something. But I learned after that, so I actually ended up being like Linda apprentice, and traveling with her to do jobs, and that definitely helped. We made some money. I got my first motorcycle in 2015, literally off of balloon money. Now I remember me and Emmanuel had to go to the Strawberry Festival. I think it's either in Rock Hill or Fort Mill, but we went down there and we twisted and twisted. And I know I alone probably made, I want to say I probably made like $1,300 because I had to give Linda her cut. I forgot how much it was, but I gave Linda her cut. And I was just doing the like quick $3 and $5 balloons, a dog, a sword, little quick stuff like that. Emmanuel like to do the big stuff, like it's tiaras you could do for girls that had like 4 balloons and stuff on it. They take a minute. So he did that, and let's say you make $8 for that. He made $8. The time it took him to do that, I done did 4 $3 dogs or $5 swords or whatever. 4 times 5 is 20. So I done made 2.5 times what he made doing that with one tiara. And I'm on go, you know what I'm saying? And like, the thing with me, I'm a charismatic person. I always say I'm an ambivert or whatever. I can be the life of the party if need to be, but I ain't got no problem being at home by myself or somewhere by myself. I go on vacations by myself. We good. So anyway, I like tell the parent, or like bet, hey, I can do this. What you want? Let's say they said dog. I can do the dog in 30 seconds. If I don't do it in 30 seconds, it's free. And so they like, oh shoot, okay. So I'm, slow rolling, boom. As long as it don't pop, we good. And I mean, it wouldn't kill me. Anyway, the balloons cost next to nothing in the grand scheme of how much money you make. You know what I mean? So let's say I'm going through, I do it or whatever, get to like 25 seconds, and I'm at the end. They don't know that I'm done. I really was playing around, but boop, finish it off. If it's a sword, I do a sword in like 15 seconds. I don't know how fast I can do this stuff now. I don't think I can do this. I know I can't. I ain't gonna say I can't. I'd be surprised if I could maintain or keep like a 15-second dog or a 30-second sword now. But anyway, so like I said, I be doing that or whatever, betting people. And because I made it, it inserted my energy and my personality into it, they give me tips. So like I said, when I left, I think I had like $1,300 or something like that. I remember, I think Emmanuel might have had like, I know he had at least like $400 less than me. So let's say he had like $750, $800 or something like that. So I think I gave him an extra $100, paid on Linda. And I had at least, if not $1,100, $1,000. And we weren't paying no taxes because we were working on the table. So that's $1,000 cash. And I know my first motorcycle was a red Ninja EX 500. It was $1,600. I got from a guy in Rock Hill. So I did that. And that's what I was doing during this time 10 years ago. I was twisting balloons and working part-time at West Charlotte Rec Center with the Dub C crew. And then, like I said, 2015 came. And I got Project Challenge working with the kids down in Monroe. Whew, hated that job. Lord, I hated that job. But again, I appreciate every job I done had because it helped me be able to, sustain myself and provide for my family or myself, when I need it. So I did that, like I say, I started in February. They let me go, like I said, the last week of June. The CEO, president, he came down. And I knew, it's funny how it worked, man, because I be coming into places as they're on a decline. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I came there, when I started, I was working in Monroe, but they had a Charlotte office on the south side. What was that, Charlotte? The Charlotte office, I want to say, was off of Woodline. It was off of Woodline, over that way. And so I was like, dang, I was living on Beatties Ford. I'm like, I got to drive, 40 minutes, 45 minutes to Monroe. If I can get over here to, Tavola, even if I had to go through the streetway to avoid the highway, man, I can get there in like, 20 minutes, 25, 30 at the longest. As long as it ain't nothing crazy. But as I'm coming in, the office went down. They had, I think, 6 care managers or whatever it was called. 6 of them and went down to 2. So 4 people was losing their job as I was coming in. And they downsized from the Woodlawn office to the where the office was at. It was, matter of fact, it was right there by El Pisano, across the street on Elmore Road. So they went there. I think the manager name was Donnell. I don't remember the girl name. She was kind of different or whatever. But anyway, so it went from a 7-person office down to a 3-person office, including the manager. So like I said, we there. And when I came, I started with Stephanie. Stephanie left a few months later. I think she got a job at like the hospital or something, better hours, more money and stuff like that, benefits and all that. So she went there. And then Waleska came, Walla Walla Cat. She came in. I started working with her, trained her and stuff. And she was Spanish speaking, so that made her even better. And she lived there. And just more organized. I won't lie. Like, I'm not, even now, not the most organized person. And I'm not going to self-diagnose, but I know that my attention I can get distracted easy or whatever. So especially like those first couple professional jobs I had, that one, man, I'd be so behind on stuff. I think, we had to do notes for the kids. I'd be behind on notes, behind on everything, for real. And just, I think I was going to New York for my, let's say I went to New York 2015. So that would have been my 27th birthday. Yeah, my 27th birthday, I think I went to New York. And I remember leaving. Now, I didn't leave to get on the road. Like, now I wouldn't do that. I would just take that day off. Like, the day I need to get to where I'm going. But young, dumb, and just, I'm always on the go doing too much. I think I got off. I didn't leave out of the office till like maybe my birthday in October, so it's fall, so it's getting dark a little earlier. I'm sure it was dark when I left, and I lost their phone when I left out. I lost like 2 of their phones. But I don't think I left out till about 6:30, because I was finishing up stuff I needed to finish up that I should have, if I had been doing what I was supposed to throughout the month. I could have left at 4:35, 4:30 probably. Slid out there, nobody would have knew nothing, said nothing, and got to where I needed to get to. So that was that. I don't know why I said that. I have no clue why that came about. I don't know, but I lost their phone, and I was working there, down there for a while, and then, like I say, no, I won't say I ever got together. With most of the jobs I done had before I got into finances, I always used to say, if they let me go, I can't be mad, which they did end up. Like I say, Kat was on her stuff and a lot more organized. She's older than me. I probably like at least 12, 13 years or something. So she was a lot more organized, had 3 kids, 4 boys. She got 4 boys she had to take care of. Max, Mika, Mark, all of them got M names. Max, Mika, Mark, and Anthony. The first son is an A, Anthony. So, like I said, she took care of her business or whatever. So, a year goes by, because they go to like the budget meetings and stuff in like March to figure out when they're going to get the budget. So, Charlotte loses their funding because another program, I don't remember the name of it, but another program from Concord came in and got Charlotte contract with like the DJJ, Department of Juvenile Justice or whatever, working with the kids. So they lost their funding, and it was like, oh crap, like that 3-person office went to 0. And it was like, wait, so how this gonna work? We like talking internal, like, is the program manager just gonna manage us, or is they gonna promote one of us? Which, even though I was senior, if they promoted her, I wouldn't have been tripping, because she was a lot more organized, a lot more professional. It was a heavy Spanish speaking population. She was Puerto Rican, so she could speak Spanish. And I had a degree. I wasn't going to be there long term anyway. It was just the first job that, they let me slip through the cracks. The guy called and was like, hey, I need you to explain what happened with your arrest. I explained, and he was like, I'll call you back. I think 45 minutes later, I remember I was at West Charlotte. He called back and like, yeah, we're going to offer you da-da-da, whatever. So I just wanted a job, man. I remember I was walking to West Charlotte one day, stopped at a gas station that's no longer there. And it was right next to the House of Prayer on Beatties Ford. And the lady, I was getting a coffee and some stuff, And we talking, and she was like, yeah, I'm trying to hire somebody, and we just hit it off, you know. I'm not ignorant or nothing like that. I had my stuff together, I had my hair cut at the time, so, you know, the waves was floating, and she was like, yeah, I'm looking to hire somebody. I'm like, I'm looking for a job. She was like, okay, I'm going to hire you. Like, I trust you. You live walking distance away. This is perfect. Cool. She reached back like this to get the application. She turned, she said, you got a record? I said, I got some charges, pension. Oh, no, never mind. I'm like, bro, I just graduated from UNC Charlotte, and I can't get a job at a freaking gas station. Mind blown. So, even though I, you know, definitely wanted more, and the job that I got with Project Challenge wasn't what I was looking for, bro, I take anything to supplement me working in West Charlotte. Because if I could live off of West Charlotte, any full-time money is just extra, you know what I'm saying? So, like I say, worked there, and then the Charlotte office lost their funding, so me and Kat talking about it, trying to figure out what they're gonna do. And we knew they had to come, and because they had vans and, you know, tables and chairs and furniture and stuff, all that they had to get and take back. I think the office was in Spruce Pine, so they had to take it back up to the mountains or whatever where they live. So they go there, cool. I'm sitting in the office doing my thing, boop, 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 boop. And I want to say the man's name was Gordon. I ain't sure, but I feel like it was Gordon, the owner, CEO. He knock on the door, you know, mind if I come right with you? I'm like, yeah, come on, what's up? Working, yeah, you can stop for a second, let me talk to you. I'm like, we talking? I'm like, yes, sir. Yeah, so today gonna be your last day. What you mean? Yeah, you know, sorry things didn't work out. We appreciate you. Grab what you can grab right now. Let me get your keys, all your access, your phone and all that. You're not coming back in this building. This is it. So grab what you got to grab right now. And I'm sitting here like, I know I wasn't doing the best job, but I got fired. Like, I never been, you know, fired before. Technically, yeah, I got fired from the newspaper route, my first real job or whatever. It wasn't no W-2 job, but whatever. Throwing the Charlotte Observer or whatever. And I couldn't trip off of that. At times I wouldn't have reliable transportation, cars going down, being late, you know, stuff like that or whatever. So, and I think I was 17, 18 at the time. So I got fired from there technically or whatever, but whatever. So like I said, I'm sitting here like flabbergasted again, not panicked because I didn't do no lifestyle inflation when I got this job. Like I said, the only thing I bought was a motorcycle. I bought it cash, $1,600 from a man named Rock Hill. I still lived on Beatties Ford, paying the same $400 rent. You know, if nothing else, I was saving money. You know, if I took a little trip here and there, I had more money to travel a little bit more. But mainly saving, spending money on motorcycle stuff. And I was really big on paying off my student loans. Like, I was putting thousands into them dang on student loans. So, you know, I was okay or whatever. It's like, okay, back to what we was doing. Just, we ain't putting as much on the loans and, you know, don't travel the same. But, all right, cool. So, like I say, I lost that job. I had a, you know, a little moment or whatever, had my time, which I think I'll, today, tomorrow, the rest of this week, up until Friday, I'm still gonna be driving. Like I said, I hope to be like Lyfting, DoorDashing or something or whatever. I hope to be Lyfting and Ubering, because Uber acting like they might want to let me back in there. We don't know, because I ain't been able to do that since 2020 or whatever. But if I can be able to drop people off this week, then I'd definitely be doing that. If not, you know, at least try to get a couple $100 this week with like DoorDash or whatever and Grubhub. But like I said, you know, back to the drawing board. And the lady used to cut my hair. Lord, why can't I think of her name right now? Miss Wanda. They used to cut my hair on Graham Street. She had been telling me about a group home. She was like, you know, you good with working with kids? I'm like, girl, fuck them kids. I don't like kids like that. But she was like, you good with working with kids? And you was doing it with the kids on probation. She's at Delta, you know. Shout out to them in the company. She went to, I won't say she went to Livingstone, but it was like pretty much ran by the company that I work for was, or is, because, yeah, they're still in business, was pretty much Johnson C. Smith alumni and all Q's, Omega Psi Phi brothers or whatever. So, you know, Coleman Love or whatever, if you know, you know. They used to try to get her on. Some of the people that she knew, that was the bros or whatever, would try to get her on. And she ain't need it. She got this, and I think she like working accounting or something. I'm gonna reach out to her because I'm working on this bookkeeping, and she probably could help me. So I'm gonna reach out to her. Anyway, so she had been telling me about it for like a few months prior or whatever, and so I think I went to get my hair cut like maybe that weekend after I lost my job or whatever, and she was like, you might as well, you know, go apply there. So I was like, all right, anything better than nothing, you know. So I went to apply and had, you know, my aspirations on there. I was really focused on project management then. That's still a certification I'm planning on getting. So the hiring manager seen that on there in my paperwork, and he was like, well, we got a program manager position. And I was studying the project management for dummies and everything. And I was like, oh, okay. Now, program and project managers should get paid. They get paid, like, based on that title. But some places will put that title there, but it's not that pay grade or band. It's not up there. And that's what this situation was. So, like I said, I remember I was studying. They sent me to a kids camp. I want to say it was at like Waddell, maybe. A camp at Waddell. And I was working with another brother. I want to say his name. I don't remember his first name, but I know his last name was Townsend too. It was both Townsends working for Park and Rec. And I was sitting there studying the book, and he was like, man, I got a partner to do that. You know, if you want to holler at him, he might be able to tell you something. I think he was working for Duke down in like the Fayetteville area. So I'm like, you know, this man don't know me from a can of paint. You just told him about me. I'm thinking he gonna be like, you gonna get the PMP or the CAPM. Yeah, say CAPM or whatever. Keep studying. You're doing good. I'm thinking we're gonna be on the phone like 5 minutes. Man, me and their brother was on the phone for like an hour and some change. He really gave me the game. I don't remember his name, but I appreciate you wherever you are in the world. And so we was talking. And so I'm like, boom, that, you know, lit my fire or whatever. All right, let me get on and do my thing, whatever. And I'm studying and all that. And so they ended up offering me the program manager job. But the pay was, this the title, but this ain't the program manager. Like, damn sure ain't the pay. So I was like, man, nah, they trying to play me. I just be like regular staff or whatever. So I remember talking to him. He was like, all right, I like that. Like, give it to me straight up, cut and dry, don't sugarcoat nothing, drop your nut, say what you got to say. So he was like, so they're not paying you enough. I'm like, nah, man, hell nah, not for no program manager. You know, program managers get paid. I'm going to go ahead and get out of the school because I've been just sitting here this whole 35 minutes I've been talking. He's like, I'm like, man, no program manager get paid. He's like, okay. So they're not paying enough. And you working part-time, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm working at the rec center part-time. He's like, do you got another job lined up? I'm like, no. He's like, how the hell is we supposed to get out of here then? Right. He's like, do you got another job lined up? I'm like, no, I don't. He was like, okay. He asked me if I had another job lined up. Oh, I can go out the back. Forget this. I'm like, no, I ain't got no other job lined up. He asked me if I had another job lined up and something else. Long story short, he was like, beggars can't be choosers. You ain't got nothing else going. Take this if nothing else. And so, I rolled that around in my head. Like I said, he definitely got it back. I operate in a logical space. So you say something that makes sense, even if I disagree with it. My mind, logic is logic. You can't argue with what makes sense or fact. So, I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna take it. So he was like, just do that job for 6 months, and just having that on your resume for 6 months will dang sure help you. Like, you'll be good after that, because whatever. So I'm like, all right. I started July, August, September, October, November, December. 6 months exactly, because, man, that job, I hated that job. I think out of all the jobs I had, because I did that with them kids longer. I ain't like none of the jobs using my criminal justice degree because that's what my degree in. I didn't like none of the jobs I had. Like, you would have days where, like, all this work is supposed to be meaningful and stuff like that, but when you have people that are forced to do things, they're not going to want to do it. Like, with the drug counseling, I wasn't at a voluntary program. Well, I ain't got there yet, but the kids on probation, they had to do the community service work with Project Challenge. Them kids ain't want to be there. They got caught. They was bad criminals, got caught, and either they owe some money back or the judge said they need to do community service. They don't want to be here. So hey, shut up. I ain't trying to hear none of what you're talking about. Just do it. You got in trouble. You did something stupid. Just do the job. Like, dog, let's knock this out so we both can go home. The faster we finish, the faster we can leave. So they didn't want to be there with the kids in group homes. I've never encountered a kid that wanted to be in a group home. None of these kids wanted to be in group homes. But they do stuff and get in trouble and, be disrespectful to their moms and crap like that. So you got to stay here. Look, if you got to be here, let's make the best of the situation. So hated that job. Did it 6 months. It wasn't even a full 6 months. But I did that for 6 months. And that's the only job I've ever had where I quit without another full-time job lined up. Hey, this shit ain't it. I'm gone. So, like I said, did that till December. And it was like the same thing. Like, one, I got that with both of those jobs. I got those and I was still facing my legal issues or whatever. So it's like, you gotta take what you can get, sort of, kinda. But nah, I got it. He said 6 months, fuck this, I'm gone. So like I said, I did that for the 6 months or whatever, and then I got up out of there. And during that time, I want to say I got the paper at home. We got the charge dismissed in March of that year, in 2016. I got the charge dismissed, but it was still on my record or whatever. Like, you know, they did background checks. I got another paper. It was towards the end of the year, so I'm gonna say it was either October, November-ish when I got the paper from my lawyer or the state saying that it had been expunged. So now that meant when I applied to jobs, I could say I'd never been charged, arrested, and it wouldn't be a lie, because that's just how the law works. If it's expunging off your record, then you could say it never happened, with the exception of being under oath in court. So I ain't under oath in court, I'm applying. So I did that for 6 months, and now that I got the expungement and all that, it was like, fuck that. I know my body, I know what I'm worth, I know I can do better than this, and I got this up off of me now. I can get something else. So I started applying to other places, using Indeed. I don't think, did I have a LinkedIn yet? If I had a LinkedIn, I ain't had nothing on it. So I'm on Indeed, applying, especially to the one click. We all like the one clicks or whatever. And the only time I've ever got an interview off of freaking Indeed was the job that I ended up getting. My next job after working with the kids in the group home was being a drug counselor. It was posted up in Asheboro, where the zoo is at in North Carolina. So I applied there or whatever. And my dog Lee or whatever, I was working, and like I said, I'm still working with the kids. So I'm like, cool, because like through the daytime or whatever, the kids at school, I'm straight. I could slide, because like, unless they call me and need me for something, I'm good. So I'm like, all right, I scheduled the interview. I feel like I had 2 of them. I ain't sure, but I feel like I had 2 interviews for whatever reason. And so, like I said, the first one, what's that sound? Wait a minute. Okay, no, that's a call behind me. Like I said, I just got this call. Got a call behind me now. I'll make sure that ain't me. I ain't sure. I'm kind of scared. I hope it ain't. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got no job. But like I said, let's say I had 2 interviews. I feel like I might have had 1 with Mr. Gray. So the interviews in Winston-Salem downtown. I think it's 500 West 4th Street or something like that. So go up here, do the interview. One of the boys had got suspended from school. So I'm like, damn, that throw me. I can't take his ass up there or whatever. No, that was that car behind me, this Jeep. I don't know if y'all can see that black Jeep right there. That was that car. I'm thinking this Honda. Me and Karen good. She don't do no complaining. But so Lord, what I do? Courtney that was working there with me. One of the boys got suspended. I'm like, hey Courtney, I gotta run and do something. Can you watch her for me? She was like, yeah, no problem, whatever. So I leave the little boy with her. Lee come get me. I don't know why, because I had my own car. I think, this is 2016, so I got my Toyota, but he was just like, shit, I'll ride with you. So, bro, come and ride with me. We go up to Winston, I do the interview, knock it out the park. I knew I did my thing, or whatever. Like, I don't know. For me, interview, some people are nervous. I'm about to start interviewing again now. I'm not nervous, because I don't have nothing to lose. So like I said, I get to this gray areas, but with some stuff, maybe it's my coping mechanism. With certain stuff to help me, I look at stuff black and white. So like with a job interview, there's no gray. Either I'm gonna get a job that hopefully, pays me enough to help take care of my family, or I'm not, and I'm gonna be back out here driving and lifting and doing whatever I was doing before I walked in the door. So what I'm gonna be nervous for? Either I only have something to get, I have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? So went in there, me and the man hit it off. It was a great interview or whatever. And like, all right. Came back home, and I want to say that next week, a couple days later, something, Mr. Gray hit me up and was like, I got good news and I got bad news. I'm always like, let's knock that negative shit out the way. Go ahead and give it to me raw, straight up. So if it's something good, I'll determine if it's good or not. So he's like, well, I can't give you the bad news without giving you the good news. So the good news, why would you ask? That don't make sense, Mr. Gray. If I ever posted, so if you ever see, why would you ask me if I want the good news or the bad news if you couldn't give me the bad news without giving me the good news? So he's like, the good news is, we offer you the job. I'm elated. I'm through the roof. I'm like, hell, ain't no bad news. Unless you're going to say it's way later, but still, I'm straight. So he was like, the bad news, the position isn't in Asheboro. I wasn't married to Asheboro. I want to get out of Charlotte anyway. So this is fine. I'm like, okay, where is it? He was like, it's in Lexington, which is a little bit closer to like Winston-Salem. I used to go kick it with my partner Colin, OJ, or whatever, up in Winston anyway. You know, had a couple people from my high school, alma mater, whatever, that went there. So I was like, yeah, that's cool with me. I like Winston. So take the job, move up there. I worked there I started January, I want to say the 9th. I think I started January the 9th. And I worked there up until, started January the 9th, 2017. Moved up to Winston. Stayed in my first spot up there. Got finished with the first spot. I liked it. It was a dope spot. Like, everybody coming in, oh boy, you making money. I wasn't making no money like that. Pre-pandemic, because I done look back and see all this shit done went up. But man, my rent was like, I think it was $650 for my apartment. I had it over 1,000 square feet, balcony, like it was nice or whatever, you know, for what it was. And I moved in there and I stayed there a little over a year. So it was a townhouse, and with townhouses, a place that got HOA, like certain things you can't pay the HOA fee if you don't own it. So I come home, I want to say I had got a gym membership. I didn't know that many people up there, and I ain't play basketball my first year up there. I ain't go and look around like that. Got a gym membership, so that's all I really did. I go to the gym, come home, hang out, get ready to go to work the next day. So I went to the gym one day, and I'm like, man, I'm finna take a good bath when I get home, soak or whatever. Get home, go to take a bath, water ain't working. I don't have a water bill, so I'm like, what the hell is going on? Reach out to them, and they're like, oh, yeah, the property management company or whatever, because there's an owner and they rent it out or whatever. So the property management company is like, oh, we need to, get to the bottom of it. They reach out to the, the place I'm staying or whatever, and they communicate, and they're like, the HOA fee ain't been paid. So the water is cut off until the HOA is paid. And I got money saved or whatever, and the HOA like, what's it? I mean, the property management company, they're like, well, can we pay it? He'll pay it. And they're like, no, because there's a person that owns it's got a mortgage on it. Like, this ain't just a regular renting thing. The owner has to pay it. They couldn't reach the owner. So the property management company like, we're going to break this contract with them, and you won't have to pay, because that's messed up and it's not your fault. So I'm like, all right. So I get kind of situated and, work things out to where if I went to the gym, I'll typically take a shower at the gym before I come home. If I didn't go to the gym, I would take a shower at work in the morning. If I didn't take a shower at work in the morning, I don't care, judge me, whatever. I'm home now. Let me turn this car off. If I didn't take a shower, or what I would do, I would go outside. It was like a community water hose or whatever. I would grab my biggest pots or whatever. Wait, which one's a pan? I feel like a pan is flat. Pots are big. So I would grab my biggest pots, like 4 of them, fill them with water, put them on the stove, boil them, throw them in the tub, let it cool off, wash my ass that way. So, and I'm frugal. What? I'm 29. The younger version of me was cheap as hell. This wasn't frugal. I was a cheap mother something. You hear me? So, I got adjusted to, like I said, I want to say this was November when this started. And I stayed there, I think, until like, I think I moved to my apartment like February 1st. So like 2 full months of this. And honestly, I wasn't in no rush to get out because I'm like, I'm saving the whole rent. And it ain't but a little inconvenience of some water. We good. I'm straight. And at the time, my youngest was born August of 2017. And he wasn't coming to where I live until he was 6 months. That's what me and his, mom had agreed on or whatever, till he was 6 months. So only person I got to take care of here is me. Like, even when my oldest come, for the most part, most of the week, he'll be at my mom's or whatever. And once I, got the water situation going, I went and bring him up there. Like, he only came for, matter of fact, he didn't, if Cam came, when he had been there, because he wasn't in school yet. My oldest wasn't in school yet. So he would have been, let me see. My oldest wasn't in school. Did you start school 2017? It wasn't 2016, 2017. I know that wasn't. He didn't start school then. I want to say, was it 2017, 2018? Let's say he started school 2017, 2018. That might make sense. He in the 6th grade now. And it's going on. No. 18, 19, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25. Okay, so he started 2018. So, yeah, when he came, for the most part, he would be with my mom early throughout the week anyway, and then be with me later. But instead, I would just come to Charlotte then, because I ain't finna have my kids up here with no water. At least as far as I can remember. That's how I'm remembering it. Anyway, so we're doing this in January, and the apartment realized I'm kind of comfortable and I ain't getting out. And they ain't getting. Hey, you got to get the hell out of here. Like, we said, that it was on us, but don't be chilling. Get your ass out. So, all right, whatever. So, I moved. I found another apartment. I moved to a spot called Brannigan Village. Dope, nice apartment. Like, nicest apartment I ever lived in or whatever. So I moved there. Rent went from $650, I think, to like $715. That wasn't bad. $65 for, a nicer place, gated. You couldn't get in there. You had to boop, 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 hit my little number and call me and and let you in. So I thought I was doing something. So moved there, stayed there 2018 to March of 2019. And what was it, March? No. I stayed there March to February. So I stayed in my apartment with no water for about 3 months. Maybe a little bit over, something like that. So that's why, hey, boy, get the hell out of here. You chilling. So, I moved in, I want to say March, and my lease ended in February 28th or whatever, 2019. So, once I moved in to Brannigan Village, I was able to get my youngest and bring him up there with me. So now I get him. So I get off work. I'm in Lexington, North Carolina. I get off work, drive to Charlotte, 50 minutes, almost an hour, whatever. Grab him, come back to Winston-Salem where I lived at. I come back home. We'll stay there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm on my way back to Charlotte an hour. Then I got to drive back home. I did that for, I guess the better part of about a year. And it was like, this shit ain't it. Because I think in that year, once he got to 6 months, I only didn't see him 3 weekends. I know, if not 2 weekends, then one of them. No, I think that was once from the time he was born to, from the time he was born, I only didn't see him 3 weekends to when I moved back. I know, I want to say maybe it snowed more than once. That one weekend, I know I was snowed in the first apartment or whatever. I know I didn't see him then because it's like, nah, this ain't safe to get out. The second time it snowed, I did see him because I was in Charlotte and then I came back and the snow was falling on my way back. It was people ran all over on the side of the road on the way back or whatever. But I'm a whole professional driver, if you ain't know. So I made it back, no issue. Now, when I got back in the parking lot, I ended up tearing my bumper off because it was like some snow, ice build up or whatever. And I trying to get all the way in the parking space so don't nobody slide and hit my little Toyota or whatever. And I couldn't get all the way in there. And I tried to bag out and it ripped my bumper off. Whatever. I'm getting sidetracked. So, stayed in the apartment for a year. And after a year and after a while, so this is 2018. I turned 30. I was born in 1988. So I turned 30 that year. My 30th birthday, I just sat down and looked at life and was like, yo, I'm not happy. I've been doing this job now, it had only been like a year, almost 2 years or whatever, but it was like, this ain't it. It's not a bad job, but I know long term this isn't it. And like, I think within my first maybe 7 to 8 months being there, a lady called me. Cause like, that's the thing, I wasn't gonna judge you or whatever. As long as you didn't come there and give me no attitude, we was good. Even if you did, you was like, yo, your ass gotta stop. Come on, man, whatever. I couldn't put too much into that. Like, I'm giving them support and telling them, we need you to sober up for yourself and all that. But some of the care managers or whatever, they'll be like judgmental. And I'm like, you can't do that with people that have to be open and vulnerable. Why would I be open and vulnerable to you if you're gonna judge me? I'm not gonna judge you. I'm gonna tell you fucking up, but I'm gonna tell you, not necessarily with soft hands, but there's no need to get in your ass about it. You got a probation officer that's doing that because they was on probation or parole or whatever. So this person already getting your ass, and I ain't got to threaten you because I can't do nothing but let them know, which I'm gonna do that anyway. But you got somebody that's telling you they're gonna take you to jail and shit. I don't gotta be the bad guy. I ain't trying to be necessarily the good guy, but you get what they say, more with honey or some shit like that. Whatever, you read the Bible. Anyway, so I did that job, like I say, a little less than 2 years, and before we got back to January, I knew like, hey, I'm 30. I'm not happy with where I'm at. I'm not happy with what I do. Again, I appreciate the company. They were solid. They took care of me. They looked out for me. They cared about your mental health and stuff like that. cared about your family life, work-life balance and all that. But I just wanted more money. I wanted more money. I felt like I was worth more. Now, if they had let me go, I couldn't be mad either. I actually ended up getting suspended. I'll get to that in a minute. Not suspended. I got rolled up. So, like, again, I just didn't have the focus. Part of it might have been I didn't like the job, but and I'm wrong in that part. It don't matter if you like the job. If these people paying you full salary, then give them full work, and I just couldn't lock in and be focused in my 20s or whatever and 30s really until I, like I say, started like messing with money or whatever, what I was doing before today. So I was working there, like I said, I turned 30 and I'm like, this ain't it. We gotta go back to the drawing board. So with that and knowing that this job wasn't what I wanted to do long term, it's like, all right. And I didn't want to be driving back and forth. I was like, yo, I'm moving back to Charlotte. I always been money minded and love dealing with numbers. That's my strength or whatever. So it's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do something dealing with money and numbers. I don't know what, but that's what I'm going to do. So went back to the drawing board or whatever. And I went back to the drawing board. And like I said, I was like, okay, I got a criminal justice degree. What's the best way to get over to money and numbers? Dealing with fraud. I had a white collar crime class that I liked my senior year of high school. I liked and loved that class so much. I feel like I didn't have a class scheduled right after that. I might like go shoot pool or go hang out in a union or whatever like that. But sometimes I would be so caught up in the conversation that we had during class, I would be in the next class. Like my question would bleed over into the next class where I'd be in there for the entire class or at least like 30 minutes. And that would become part of the conversation, the discussion, and the lecture for that class. So I knew that and I wanted to do that coming straight out of out of college when I graduated. But like I said, one is like just apply everywhere. Anything that I could do using this degree, get paid. That was my focus. But like I said, I got, arrested or whatever, wrongfully, whatever. We'll get into that another time. Got arrested or whatever. And I had not half, because still alive. I have a cousin that he's a bit older than me. He been in that. And he like top dog. He do his thing. JR, what's up? That's how I let the son. But he do his thing, and he told me, like, when I was twisting balloons with his mom, he had a big function at Wells Fargo or whatever, and introduced me to, I think it was like the risk officer and compliance manager or something like that. Officer. And they was the hiring managers. And he pulled him like, hey, he's gonna apply one day. When he does, hire him. I'm not asking you, like I'm telling you. So whatever. But he was like, don't apply now, because even with the power that I have, Wells Fargo not gonna hire you while you got pending charges. I can't get them to overlook that. You get this gone, you apply, you in there. And by the time I got it gone in 2016, he was gone to another company. So I never applied to Wells. Or no, I applied on my own, but I didn't have, that in or whatever. So like I said, I'm like back to the drawing board and started applying and stuff. In retrospect, I wish I knew more about or focus more on certifications. Even when I did have the charges and was dealing with that or whatever, with the extra money I was making from balloons and the full-time jobs, I wish I poured more into certifications, because those could have helped me have credentials to show that, I was valid for the fields I wanted to go into. But I'm thinking that you got to get the job first, get the experience, then get the certification. I know not now. And that's something that I'm still working on. That's still part of my plan, Knock on wood, like I say, I'm going to have a job before 2025 get here, but just in case I don't, that's definitely a focus to get. Now, I'll get to that in a minute. I don't know how long this is going to record or whatever, but like I said, it's for me. It ain't for nobody else. But we'll see. Anyway, so like I said, I'm like, let's try to get into that fraud space. So I'm applying to Wells. I'm applying to Truist. Truist was who? BB&T? I'm applying to BB&T because they always had the financial crimes or the fraud, like entry-level specialists like or whatever, and I ain't need to make a whole bunch of money, but I ain't never get no interview or no call back. So that didn't work out. And then, so like I said, I moved back March of 2019 or whatever. My car got stole by the city. Forget y'all, whatever that organization is that get like abandoned cars. Now I moved back. I get this real quick. So I moved back, like I said, March 1st, right? All my stuff packed, put it in storage, cool, whatever. I moved back March 1st. I let my apartment complex know I'm moving, but I was going to have to get my car towed. So I was like, hey, I'm going to get my car towed. I got paid once a month. So I got my car towed. I want to say like maybe 10 days later. I don't know where the extra money would have came from or what was going on, but I had something going on where I was going to have some money. Or no, I think I was just getting situated, and I was just going to tow my car. I wasn't towing it the day that I moved. Yeah, because I would have needed to drive back. So it's like, I think probably the next weekend. I can't look now because I'm recording, but I'll go back and see when, because like I said, I moved back March 1st of 2019, and let's say I came back that next weekend, the 7th or 8th, something like that, the 10th, somewhere around there. I came back to get my car like that next week. So I go get my car that next week, and I park it. I park it across the street from Drama House. My mom, that's Drama, her name. I call her Drama. From Drama House or whatever, where I moved to. And so I knew my fuel pump went out. I do not deal with the cold. I live in Charlotte, born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been in North Carolina my whole life. I'm moving to Texas. So one of these videos recorded, when I move to Texas, I'm going to record one of these for my videography or whatever you call this. My vlog. So, like say, move the car back like that next week, around the 10th or something like that, 7th or the 10th, somewhere between there. And me and my step-pop's big dog, we gonna change the fuel pump out, because he don't mind being cold or whatever. Plus, he can kind of supervise me or whatever. It was right under the seat, which, in retrospect, I could have did it when it was cold, but I don't like being cold, so I wasn't going out there to do no work on no car. So I had bought a car from my pops. I'm driving a little, a Hyundai. I think a Hyundai Sonata, like a 96 or something like that I bought from him. So, driving that, and at the end of the month when I get paid, because I get paid once a month at the end of the month, when I get paid at the end of March, I'm going to go get the fuel pump, me and Big Dog going to change it out. So I still was driving all the way back to Winston or Lexington to work. So I drive that every day or whatever. And so I taught a class, and after I finished teaching it, like the drug class or whatever, I think it was it DES? It might have been, I feel like it was drug education school. I don't think it was CBI. Whatever. DES or CBI, one of them classes that I taught. So I teach the class, I get out, and after I get out of the class, what I do? Oh, Drama called me. My mom, she called me. She was like, where your car at? So I had a black 96 Corolla. Yeah, it was a Corolla. And I'm driving, like I say, the Hyundai that my pops let me borrow. So I'm like, you mean the Hyundai, my pops' car? And she was like, no, your Corolla. And I'm like, okay, she playing, because my car is across the street from the house. And so I'm like, it's across the street from her. She was like, no, it's not. That's why I'm calling you. I thought you took it to the shop. It's not out here. I'm going to catch a movie. I feel like, I don't remember what the movie was. I was going to try to remember. I don't know. But whatever movie I was going to see, I'm like, all right, well, I'll see you and my car when I get home. So I hang up from with her or whatever, and I'm finna leave. I think I get to the movies. I get to the movies. It's like 20 minutes away, something like that. And she called me back as I'm getting ready to walk in, and she's like, all right, I got the police report number. And I'm like, police report? Lady, what are you talking about? You serious? She was like, yes, that's why I called you. Like, your car's not here. So I'm like, bro, I can't focus on the movie. Somebody done stole my car. Long story short, like I say, the city of Charlotte, somebody called and said that my car had been sitting there since like November or December of 2018. And I'm like, I find out, I reach out to the city, and I'm like, I have proof. I have the receipt from when I got my car towed. I could show you that I got videos and pictures of my car running, and I could show you that my car was registered in Winston-Salem up until, it's still registered there because that's where I was. My car just got here, and they was like, well, we put a sticker on it. I'm like, ain't no sticker on my car. They sent me the email, and it's like a picture of a big orange sticker right there in the corner. Now, I walk past my car. I done sat on my car. The kids get off the bus right there in front. Me, my step-pops, my mom, my siblings, my cousin, me, we all coming and going. Somebody would have saw this big-ass orange sticker. So, my theory, and fuck you, whoever that person was, whatever, I feel that whoever called and reported that my car had been there for 3 or 4 months or whatever also scraped the sticker off, because I ain't never seen no sticker. So, the city, long story short, was like, as long as we put the sticker on there, then that's all that matters. Even if the person lied, that's irrelevant to us. If the sticker was there, you had 14 days, you didn't get it gone, you fucked. And I'm like, the car probably ain't worth $1,000, you know, just a little bit over. And to have to pay and do all this, I couldn't even, they wouldn't even let me buy it back. It was just like, you screwed. So I'm driving the Hyundai that my pops let me borrow, and we went to, I feel like it was for Drama birthday or Umbridge's? Umbridge's birthday in March. I'm going to say maybe it was on Bridget's birthday, but not on her birthday. Maybe it was like the week after, something like that. I don't think it wasn't Drama's birthday. I knew it wasn't Drama's when I think about it, because that was too close. But long story short, we went to, I think, Olive Garden in, what do you call it? In Concord, by Concord, across the street from Concord Mills. With the Olive Garden up there. And what happened? Went to Olive Garden. And I went to do DoorDash, like deliver food or whatever. Because I had got into that in, the beginning of 2019. Big Dog was doing the scooters, the birds or whatever. And then he started doing food delivery. And then because like I said, I'm coming home every weekend because I'm a hands-on dad or whatever. So I come home to be with my youngest. And I started doing the food delivery under his account. So I had his phone go do the food delivery. I applied. I started doing it in Winston right before I moved back to Charlotte. So, cool. I'm like, all right, we done ate or whatever. I'm going to go make me some money. So I go. I think I might have had some bonuses, like $2 or $3 extra per delivery. So I'm like, I'm finna go get this. So I'm riding, boom, doing the deliveries or whatever. And it's a little like 2-lane country back road in a really rural area. And it's like cops or sheriffs, whatever, in Concord, pulled over right there. So I go around them. And I knew I had a headlight out on this car, but I think, again, I was a cheap dude. I think the headlight was like $40. I'm not keeping this car. I'm giving it back to my pops, so I'm not finna be messing with this car like that. Spending $4 on a headlight. I go past them, the headlight out. Whoop, them little country towns, they don't be having nothing else to do, so they behind me real quick. Hey, boop, boop. Yeah, you got a headlight out. License, registration. I'm like, I gotta explain to them. The car got a dealer tag, as you can see. This is my dad's car. He sells cars. He let me use it, whatever. They're like, well, you're not supposed to be driving this. I'm going to put this in the system that you got a ticket for the headlight or whatever. Another cop may give you a ticket, but I'm going to give you a court date. Get this fixed by then, da-da-da, whatever. So I'm like, all right. I ain't finna be dealing with this. I know I'm not buying this car. I don't want it. And I was trying to take care of my credit or whatever. So I was like, I hate car payments. Like, I don't want to pay for this, but I had to get a car. Same situation, a car from my pops or whatever. So I was like, all right, bro, I'm going to go get a car. So I go to the State Employees Credit Union, get a loan, get the car or whatever, and do it that way. So, again, I don't know why I went through all that or how I got there. But, so I'm still working another year, 2019. And I don't know, like, the same way I got this vlog or whatever, I keep my notebooks and diaries, journals, whatever you want to call it. I keep those things just to be able to, reference back in like this so I could see what I was going through at the time. And so I remember at the end of, like, 2019, I was like, had it wrote down SpongeBob. That's my thing. If I'm like gonna leave something or somewhere or somebody, I put the little SpongeBob meme. All right, I'm gonna head out. That was me and my homegirl Raggedy like running thing because I'm at the SpongeBob. I'm getting the hell out of here. So I had wrote all that down, like just manifested. I'm getting out of here, whatever. So that's 2019, and we all know that March 2020, the world shut down, pandemic come. So the pandemic come, they make us start working from home. We all see that this thing real. So I'm doing, the drug classes and stuff like that. They started to cut out the drug classes. Now, we used to get an extra, like, check or whatever for your commute, driving to and from the drug classes, like the classes that you taught. And, like, that could be a couple $100 extra that you made per month. So it's nice. So you lost that. Then, because of whatever, once the pandemic started, they cut out some of the classes. Now, that class going to give you, depending on how many classes you teaching, an extra $1,000 on top of your check. At least, at minimum, even if you're doing DES. You're talking, like I said, a couple $100 or whatever. But some people getting, especially with the class and the gas, over $1,000 easy. So, wait a minute now. Granted, I don't got rent, but like I said, I ain't inflated my lifestyle, but I'm used to spending it. I'll get to what I'm blowing my money on one day. But anyway, so I'm like, I was already, again, I'm 6 months removed, from turning 30 or whatever. And I already said I was out of here anyway. No, I'm a year and 6 months removed because it's 2020 now. I said I was leaving here in 2018 and I done stayed, a year and some change long. So I'm like, yeah, no, this ain't it. I got to go. So, like I said, I'm still working there, whatever. I go because I always try to, make sure my health is together or whatever. So I go to the health department to get an STI screen. No symptoms or nothing. My file is big because I've been going since I was like 16. I'm going to make sure I'm good. So I go, and as I'm walking in, I think it was in April. I go, and as I'm walking in, I see a purple tent, a Novant tent or whatever in the parking lot. It's like 4 or something. They wrapping up or whatever. So I'm finna leave. I go in there, take my test or whatever. I used to have them like do the little swab. If you're a man, women, y'all know because y'all get it, but when you get an STI screen, you can do a urine sample or you can do a Q-tip swab. I did a Q-tip swab. You get the results back faster because they go put it on the microscope or whatever, and then they send off for the HIV. So no symptoms. I know I'm good or whatever. That's negative. They still send it off to another lab to come back and let you know whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I'm like, I know I'm clear of that. Let me go over here because I know I'm clear of COVID too. Go over here. They whoop whoop touch your brain. If you done got a COVID test, you know they stick that thing way up here. You're gonna drop some tears or whatever. And so I do that. And I'm the last person there. Like I said, they wrapping up cords and stuff. It's almost 5 o'clock. I know they probably was like, why you bring your ass over here? You see, shut up, take my test. Shut up, don't take my test. Because I'm sitting there like this, and I can see like out of the back, like, you know, like I said, they wrapping up, everybody going about their business. I'm the only patient here. And I'm a patient there, patient zero. So I see the energy like shift, and the lady was wrapping cords like look at me in my car like, oh shit, like, and they kind of look like who gonna tell them. I'm like, I know you lying. I know you lying because I ain't got no COVID. I ain't got no symptoms. My taste is fine. I can smell everything. How did this happen? I still was lifting and Ubering or whatever at the time though. So they come over, the lady come over to me, and I'm sitting like this. And she was like, yeah, so do you have a primary care physician? And I'm like, why? Why do I need a, like, because I know I ain't got no COVID because this is when it's fresh and people dying, and that's all they're reporting on every day. So I'm like, bro, I'm not dying in my early 30s because of no fucking COVID. Because I was out here trying to make something like, why? And she like, well, so you did come back positive. And I'm just like, staring off like, lady, you can leave now because I ain't hearing shit you saying. So she gave me like a doctor to follow up with or whatever. So anyway, whatever. I got sidetracked. I do that, as you can see. So, like I say, that goes by. And so while I'm out, I come back, I tell my drama or whatever, because like I say, you know, we got the whole family here, whatever. And I'm like, well, I'm positive. So my logic was, I just go stay in my office because nobody's coming to the office. You got to quarantine for 2 weeks. I go stay at the office for 2 weeks and work it out that way so I don't get y'all sick. And my mom like, you been here this whole time. You don't even know if you know what I'm saying, if you got it from one of us. So we'll all go get tested. They go the next day. Drama positive, Big Dog positive, Mike positive, Naya positive, and my oldest son is positive. So the only people that ain't positive is Ty, my youngest. So that goes by. I let my job know. And they're like, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm at home. And they're like, no, you can't do any work for 2 weeks. I'm like, that doesn't make sense when I'm at home. I still can type. And they're like, I guess that was the federal government or whatever. Or I don't know if it was just the company policy, but they was like, no, you can't work for 2 weeks. I'm like, and I know how I say, if these jobs had let me go, I couldn't be mad. So I'm like, bro, I'm behind on a lot of shit. I don't need y'all to be looking at what I got going on. So while I'm out, they look and see what I got going on, and they like, hey, what the hell? What is this disorganized bullshit? Now, you're a great care manager as far as what we hear from people that do interact with you, but my boy, you ain't keeping up with your log and shit how you supposed to. Wasn't at all, nothing to say. So they like, yeah, we got you on like a probation. You know, all right, I'm trying to sponge by a anyway. You ain't gonna fire me. So, like I said, I thought I think they took CBI from me or whatever, the class I was teaching. I had took DES. They took me off from being a CBI instructor. So now I'm just like doing the care management or whatever. And I'm doing all right with that or whatever. I got better because I wasn't trying to get fired. And as time went on, we started to have like a few days back in the office. So I remember I went to Houston 2020 with my homegirl Britt. And I feel like we went to Houston in August. So it was after I went to Houston. Anyway, like I said, I'm looking and doing my thing. Like, I'm gonna get on LinkedIn today. I'm getting on LinkedIn and stuff and doing applications. And I remember getting on LinkedIn and a cat named Sims that I went to 2 colleges. I went to UNC Charlotte, I went to Fayetteville. That I went to Fayetteville State with in North Carolina. I saw that he was working in that financial services industry or whatever. So I just had a little, a generic message I was sending out to people. Not asking for no job, just asking for information. And I reached out like, yo, Sims, I see that, you work for a TIAA or whatever. I'm trying to get into this space with my degree in criminal justice. If you got anything any information or anything you can recommend I do, let me know. And so I'm thinking he gonna be like, yeah, just do this or whatever and go about your business. So what she did on the first message, she was like, yo, if you could get any of the FINRA licenses, try to get those. or whatever, and that'll help you get your foot in the door. I'm like, all right, appreciate you. So that's a Saturday. I reached out to him on a Saturday. So I'm thinking that's it, you know, cool. Like I said, I ain't seen this man in 10 years. So Monday comes, Monday evening, I get home from work. No, I was still at work. When I'm at work Monday, he reaches out to me and he like, yo, if you're really serious about, getting in this space or whatever, apply to this job. I think it was a non-registered, I can't remember, non-registered something with TIAA. He's like, if you're really serious, use my employer referral to do this application. That should help you get your foot in the door. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go, I do the application Monday night, right? So like I said, I'm hybrid at the time. That guy was working in the office some days. I remember I went to Freedom Park. If you're from Charlotte, you know Freedom Park at the big one with the little water, because I want to work around the water. And I only got paperwork. I ain't got no clients or whatever. So I go to Freedom Park, I'm doing some work or whatever. And I didn't do the application until like 11 p.m. at night, right before midnight, Monday. Tuesday, before noon, before I get to lunch, I get reached out to by, somebody to work at TIAA or a recruiter or whatever, hiring person, whatever, HR person. And they're like, hey, we, got your application and want to schedule an interview. It ain't been 12 hours. Y'all must think I'm special. So I'm like, all right, so we scheduled it for the next day. I set up at the house or whatever, boom, suited and booted, sitting on, knock it out. Like I said, I'm not nervous doing interviews, so I knocked the interview out the park, hit that out the park or whatever. I know I had, I think 3 with TIAA, 3 like just Zoom interviews like this or whatever. Hit them all out the park, except the last one. The last one I did in the office where I was working at, in Monroe or whatever. And I'm prepared. Suited and booted. I got a bunch of questions. I met with 2 dudes. There was a brother and a older white man or whatever, from what I remember. And it said in preparation, like I get so fast moving, my wheels be turning, I overlook small details. I read it. Okay, make sure that you're ready. Log on this time. Boom, boom, boom. Read all that. It said, look up what dollar cost averaging means. Never saw it. So we done did everything. They asking questions. I'm hitting this. Like I said, I always do my research. I hit it at the park or whatever. And they're like, yeah, so, the last thing, what's dollar cost average? I'm like, never heard of it. They're like, you didn't see that question on the email? I'm like, Google gang, because I can Google and still be looking. I was like, I think I might, but I was honest, like, I think I might have overlooked that. They rocked with me. They was like, yeah, so you should prepare, like, kind of tell me, like, motherfucker, go look it up right now while we telling you. So I boop, dollar cost averaging. Pretty much all dollar cost averaging is you invest the same amount regardless of what the market doing. Some people try to time the market, like, okay, the market down, try to buy it in, or, and try to sell when it's high. You do that, jumping in and out. It's been studied for years since it started. You better off just leaving it in and putting the same amount in or whatever. So that way, whatever, yeah, you don't want to buy when it's high, but you still getting in there, whatever, and then you're going to also buy when it's low. So it balances out. So I tell them that all right, cool. I remember I was right by Drama House. I was over by the Chuck E. Cheese. This is, because it's 2020. So some time go by and they hit me back like, I don't know why that be happening with me. Like with a lot of jobs, they'd be like, oh, something happened with the hiring process. Because it took longer than it was supposed to. So I thought I didn't get it. And like I said, I was coming out of the parking lot by Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. And they was like, they called. And I'm like, I don't know this number. So I know I'm applying for jobs or whatever. I'm like, hello. And they, hi, this is, such and such from TIAA. Wanted to call and, let you know that this is your verbal offer. We will be bringing you in, da-da-da, whatever. And I'm like, oh, shit. They hired me. And it's like almost twice as much money as I was making being a drug counselor. So I'm like, yo, this is like my first degree money job. I'm like, yo, like, I'm hyped. I think I ain't no think. I cry. Like, I didn't cry really, like, at all as a kid. Hardly as a kid, as a teenager, because raised in an environment where you got to be tough and you a man. Man, hey, take it from me, dog. Crying is so therapeutic. If it's some shit that you got to get up off of, you let that shit go. Don't be that tough. I fucking be out in public. I don't give a damn. I ain't trying to impress nobody. If I need to get that up off of me now, if I can go, over here in the corner or away from people, I will. But I done been ordering food or whatever, like, in a restaurant, and there's tears, like, going down my face. But not like, I ain't boo-hooing, but, like, I'm crying, like, because I'm going through something or whatever. And, are you okay? Nah, but I will be. We all right. Like, I'm finna get my food, go sit down, and I'm gonna deal with it. Like, that's where I'm at in life now, because I suppressed crying for so long. And, like, Nah, there's strength in being able to deal with your emotions. Get that shit up off of you, don't suppress it. So, like I said, I'm crying and just happy and go home and, let people know. So they let you know once you come in, though, they seeing this stuff, you gotta do all this studying and whatever. They're paying you to study. They're bringing like 20 or 25 or something like that. Because everybody ain't gonna make it. So I'm doing all this studying. I remember the first test was like on the south side of Charlotte, off Tavola or whatever, in like them office buildings or whatever. So go over there. Well, that morning, like I studied my ass off or whatever. And options, I think options, bonds, and something else was like whooping my ass. I just could not grasp it. So like, and they tell you, if you don't come within like 10 points of passing, you don't have a job no more. So I'm like, yeah, this was all right. I might just stay with him in a drug counselor, because then, like, night before, I think I went out to do something, and I was like, I don't know this shit. Like, bro, I'm finna not have a job again, and I'm, like, nervous. So, well, no, not again, because I haven't lost my job yet. So I started October. My birthday was October the 18th. That was my last, I think my last day working was October the 16th. That was my last day working, 2020. We went to Cherokee to hang out, celebrate our birthday or whatever, because me and my cousin got the same birthday. So we all went up there, Ragged and them came to, and just had a good time gambling. Lost bad, boy. Sitting there like, woo, I shouldn't have did this. So, whatever. Started October the 26th, studying my butt off. Let's say 2 weeks later, I got the first test, right? And it was for the SIE, the Securities Industry Essentials. Studying that, like I said, them munis and trying to ensure options, munis, and something else. I can't remember what else, but it was whooping my ass. So I remember that night before, I'm finna lose my job, punching my steering wheel like I made a mistake. Go in here like, it is what it is, bro. We're gonna be back to, we're gonna be on LinkedIn, cool, whatever. Study. I mess around and pass. And you get like the whoop, it come up right on the screen like pass or fail. So it say pass. I think I walked out. I want to say Miss Carla was there or whatever, and she seemed like the look of relief, like I needed. I guess in that moment she could see like I needed, and I don't know like what I needed, but it was just a relief or whatever. Like I passed, and she was like, "You all right? You passed?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she kind of just brought me in, and I like hugged this woman that I've seen her on this screen, but we've never had no one-on-one conversation. She was just like, and I just hugged. She was, "You got it." Whew. So got that one out the way. So they run these back to back because it's 4 of them you got to pass. You got to do the SIE for TIAA in that position. You got to do the SIE, the Series 6, the 63, and I think insurance. So I took the SIE first. For whatever reason, with the 6, we had to go to South Carolina, like 2 hours away, right? So I'm like, man, I barely passed that, but I'm studying for the 6 or whatever. The 6 is bigger. And I'm like, all right. But now, I felt the same. I didn't feel as bad because, like, I got a little confidence because I passed the SIE. So going into the 6, I'm like, well, I still didn't, because it had the munis and the options and all that shit too or whatever. I still don't know it like that. So I'm like, it don't matter. You ain't know the SIE and you passed it. You might know more or guess better or know more than you think, like you did with the SIE is what I'm telling myself. So I'm like, all right, we straight, whatever. So I go in here. Like I said, I done drove 2 hours, 2 good hours. Not like an hour and 59. No, probably like 2 hours and 25, closer to 2.5 hours or whatever. Get in here, take the test. That screen, whoop, whoop, whoop. Fail. And I'm not within 10 points either. I think I'm like 15 points off. I ain't got no job. I know I ain't got no job. And this ain't like when I got laid off before when I got my part-time. I'm just out here, unemployed. Like, ain't nobody payroll. So I'm like, man, when I tell you I rode that whole 2.5 hours back, I didn't call nobody. I didn't text nobody. I didn't talk to nobody. I ain't even had no music on. Car solid like this. And I'm just riding, staring like, and I just keep saying, I ain't got no job. Because in my adult life, I've never not at least had a part-time job. So I'm like, again, I lived with my mom at the time, but still, I ain't not had no job as an adult. So it's like, I've been doing, Lyft, Uber, Grubhub, Postmates. I got these side hustles, but I've never done those as my primary, like, whatever. Even though I ain't got the major overhead no more. So I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? What am I gonna do? So I get home, have my moment or whatever. But I think even then, that same day, I was doing like some of the one-click applications on Indeed and LinkedIn that same day. So I'm doing some of those or whatever. And hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'm doing some of those one-click applications or whatever, sitting there chilling. And some places start reaching back. A lot of them is like selling insurance and like more commissions based stuff. I don't know if you're gonna do 100% commissions, but especially jumping into something I ain't did, nah, I'm good. So I interviewed with someone because I'm like, I need anything right now. And, like I said, they all bring, I just can't bring myself to just do, I think I went to Bankers. It's a Bankers here in Charlotte, like near the Valentine area. They invited me down there to do one. And again, it was like this commission, which looking back, at the time, commissions would have been okay. If I was going to do it, it should have been then. Because like I said, I'm living at home, so I ain't got to worry about necessarily rent. Even though I was paying rent to my mom, I ain't got full rent. Like, she's not going to kick me out if I don't pay it. You know what I'm saying? And I still could pay it because, again, I got the side hustles or whatever, the gig work. So, where I'm at. So, I still got this car on. So, I don't know what was connected or if it's going to disconnect. I don't even know if you can, because like I said, I don't know when I'm posting this. I don't even know if I can hear all this or whatever, because whatever. I'm getting sidetracked again, my bad. So, I'm like, all right, if I was going to do it, I should have did it then, but I didn't. So, I'm doing a bunch of applications or whatever. And I don't think, when did I start working? I feel like I didn't start working. It was March. So, that whole, because I failed the test November the 30th. So, I don't know what it is about this November, December time. Well, December really, because this is December the 4th. So I got let go December the 4th. So I worked 3 days, half a day. I worked until about noon today. I worked Monday and Tuesday. But with TIAA, am I still on TIAA? No, TIAA, I lost that November the 30th. And then we'll get back, whatever, I'll get back to you. So that's November the 30th, 2020. So like I said, I'm doing application stuff. So all of December, all of January, all of February, that whole 3 months, all I'm doing is Lyft, Uber, Postmates, DoorDash. Whatever. Well, not Uber, because them hoes wouldn't let me back in. Lyft, Postmates, DoorDash. That's all I'm doing. That's all I got. And I'm doing all right, making okay money or whatever. So I see that I can kind of, I might be okay, and I keep doing that. So that goes by, whatever. And then March comes. Like, I done got interviews or whatever in between, but I didn't get the jobs or whatever. So March comes, and I applied through this company called Talent Bridge, a staffing agency or whatever. Applied with them. They got me an interview. It was a company called Sunlight, I feel like, that I was supposed to have an interview with. But I was driving. I was doing Lyft that day. And the lady was like, yeah, no, we're going to reschedule. But I think she was like, fuck out of here. You ain't serious. So it was them. It was this, I think it was like CCC or CCQ or something like that. It's in the Bank of America, the big building downtown. It was like the 30th floor. I interviewed with them, and it was like dispatching, I think, HVAC workers in like the states that they was in. I know it was like Texas, Cali, and somewhere else. And so that was 100% in office or whatever. So interview with them and interview with LPL for the contract position or whatever. So, and LPL was remote. So that, remote, you work from home, you got to go. And that job is 100% in office. So that's, you got to go to the office. You got to pay for parking because they don't cover your parking. And parking downtown is hell. And that's every day, 5 days. Yeah, right. Get out of here. So, but it was permanent. So I took the contract with LPL. When I took the contract with LPL, I let the lady at the CCQ or CCC company know. She reached back out like, hey, yo, we trying to counter. My boss really like, because I think I had just interviewed with them. I was at my pop's house. I did the interview. I did the first 2 interviews with them at my homegirl Kendra house. Shout out to Ken, the Ocho. I did them at Ken house. And then the last one for LPL, no, not for LPL, for the CCQ, CCC company, I did at my pop's house. I don't know what I was going over there, but I stopped at my pop's house, took my laptop, did the interview with the manager and the recruiter or whoever the HR person was. They was rocking with me. So when I called to let her know, like, hey, I got another offer, I'm going to take it. She called me back 30, 40 minutes later after I left my pop's house. Like, look, my manager said, what we got to do to get you? Like, we countering, da-da-da, whatever. And it was like, dang, I feel special. Somebody, you want me? You want to counter? No, I'm not coming into that office. I wasn't finna do that. Because I still had to get my youngest to and from daycare and something. No, we're not doing that. Plus, if I work from home, he ain't got to go nowhere because I'm right here. So I think it was a repapering specialist. I did that for, like I said, it was a 6-month contract. Started in February. I think it started February the 18th. So it started in February. So yeah, February, April, May, June, July, And August, we was supposed to turn in our equipment, right? So as the contract got close to an end, let's say like maybe July. In July, beginning of July, I started applying to other places because it's a contract, and they ain't saying nothing about extending it or whatever. Now, I know I did my thing. I don't remember everybody's name. I know one lady's name was Monique. It was a woman whose name started like a Z. They did. Like, if they was going to have room to bring on people permanent, them two was the front runners, then it was me or whatever. So, like, because you could know who got their work done when, because we all would be working like from a spreadsheet. Let's say they got like 500 accounts on it, and it's like 10 of us or whatever. So 50 accounts a piece. I don't know. I don't think that's the numbers is right, whatever. Because I know literally we went 2 weeks without work like twice. No, like you ain't even got to open your lap. They don't have nothing for us or whatever. So that's my first time working the contract. I'm like, they gonna let us go because ain't no way we finna keep getting paid and we not doing no work. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what happened? Like I said, yeah, get close towards the end or whatever. And a recruiter, I get almost all my jobs, like I say, off LinkedIn. I got TIAA because I met Brittany on LinkedIn. No, I got TIAA from Sims that I went to Fayetteville with. I reached out to him on LinkedIn. I got the contract job because of Brittany, and the CCQ job was posted on LinkedIn too. So that one. Next, where I'm going now, a recruiter reached out to me from Vanguard or whatever, and she was like, hey, like I said, I had my SIE. I didn't say that. I passed the SIE, I failed the 6, and then I passed what's called the 63. I passed the 63, right? So, passed the 63, and so now I got an SIE in the 63. All I would need is a 6 or a 7 to be like fully licensed, and probably the insurance, but they probably won't raise no hear about the insurance. But I need the 6 or the 7 to accompany the 63 and the SIE. I get the 6 or the 7, I'm fully licensed, we in the game, right? Cool, whatever. So that's what she reached out and said. She like, well, here, I know you got your SIE and 63. All you would need is the 7 here at Vanguard and you'll be fully licensed. I gotta get these kids the key. Hold up. Cause I'm in the car. So I'm like, all right, again, that's like, I'm in a contract over anyway, and that's the only job that I got like with an offer in hand. So I'm like, cool, say less. And they gave me a signing bonus or whatever. So they give me a signing bonus, and the lady, I get a signing bonus because I got my SIE, my 63, since I'm already halfway licensed or whatever. So where I was going, I had to give him a key. He could have kept this, but he ain't know. Anyway, so I go there. I started in like August or something like that. Same thing. We just studying for the excuse me, for the Series 7, right? I'm studying. And so we're studying for the 7. And what happened? Wait, no, before I get hired. So I'm supposed to turn my equipment on Friday, right? Thursday night, me and my dog Lee, the one that rode with me and took me up there to Winston to do the application for the drug counseling job. Lee hit me, Lee like, hey man, let's go grab something to eat, whatever. So me, him, and my youngest go to Ink and Ivy downtown to grab lunch. Like, I guess it's dinner because it's after work or whatever. So we sitting there just rapping, talking or whatever, eating, having a good time. And Brittany calls me. The Brittany, not my homegirl Britt, but Britt did work for Talent Bridge. Britt called and she like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, all right, I appreciate everything with the contract, whatever. And she like, yeah, well, I actually got some good news. And already in my head, I'm like, hope that the good news I think that you think is good news because I already got a full-time job. And she like, yeah, so they're extending the contract. I'm like, that would have been great if you called me with about a month ago. Vanguard hired me. So I actually started there in like 2 weeks. So thanks, but no thanks. Brokey. I'm out. Whatever. So I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna work. I already got a full-time versus, just like with this right here, there was I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And so instead of having to deal with that uncertainty of if you're going to have a job, I'd rather go here where it's permanent. So she's like, I understand, cool, whatever. So I started that or whatever. And I'm kind of, giving y'all some of the stuff that happened during the time or whatever, besides just the work part or whatever. I don't know why I'm saying y'all because, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a social media person, but I don't know. Maybe I'll post this, we'll see. So I take the job. I'm studying. I don't remember exactly when it was, but Drama, my mom. Drama, me and her, well, I could go and look, but I can't look right now. I borrowed a V motorcycle because she had a motorcycle and I was wanting to ride together. So I borrowed a V motorcycle so me and her could go riding. She hadn't been riding like that or whatever. She had a Honda Shadow. So we gonna ride over to my aunt Bridget's house or whatever. Gonna ride over here, kick it down Bridget's house, ride back. Cool. So we leave, ride through the big parking lot, get by the quick trip or whatever. So we ain't even like not even 3 good minutes away. And she goes to make a right turn. You gotta be a lot. If you ride motorcycles, you know you gotta know what you're doing because you don't have like, let's say I'm flying or whatever, and then the car in front of me slam on brakes. In this SUV, I mean, I can slam on brakes, no worries. Just hope I don't hit it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm on a Honda motorcycle, which I preferably like Yamahas, whatever. But let's say I was on a Honda CBR or whatever, and I'm riding behind the car and it slam on brakes and I don't have enough distance, I slam on brakes. Y'all know I ain't no expert rider, so maybe like some of y'all that are like, boy, you know what you're talking about. Maybe y'all know how to slam and slide, because some of y'all could do the little burnout thing and have the motorcycle moving. I can't do that yet. I got to get another motorcycle. When I do, somebody teach me. But anyway, so the same, like you can't brake in a turn. If I'm turning and I need to slam on brakes, you can't do that on a motorcycle because it's gonna fall. So she making the right turn and she make that bitch dumb wide. Like it's a median right there. If it wasn't a median, she would have been okay. She make the turn and I'm like, oh, whoa, because I see like you headed towards the median. She hit the median, whiskey throttle, hit the gas or whatever, bike fly out. She fall on the side and the peg that you like lay your foot on like stabbed her leg. It went in her leg. So I'm like, fuck, shit. Pull over, we get up, get the bike up. My sister drive her back to the house. We go get my step pops. He come up there because he know how to ride motorcycles. He ride the motorcycle back to the house. So she got to deal with that. Walking with a limp or whatever. We end up getting another little thing where you put your knee up and drive or whatever. That look kind of cool to me, but whatever. So she's on that. And so I'm studying. And I'm going to say maybe I had to take it in like let's say the beginning of September or something like that. In August, somewhere in September. I took the test sometime after that happened with her and I failed it. And it wasn't like, I ain't bombing, but I know I was off like probably like 20 points or something. So it was like, that ain't like close. So I was like, all right, whatever. And so they put me like the remedial, like, okay, super study class because you can't fail this shit no more than one more time or whatever. And I remember I was at drama house studying or whatever, and I went out and I'm sitting in my car and I'm studying. Like, we would have a meeting with the instructor every day to go over stuff that you just ain't grasping. And I remember I was sitting in the car because I'm like, if I can get past this test and then I get the job, I'm straight, whatever. I'm sitting in the car and I was like, nah, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't, even if I pass the test, I can tell by what I'm studying. I don't like this job. I don't want to do this job. So like instantly, like say it was like light bulb went off, hit with a ton of bricks. I'm not doing this. I don't even care about this test. So I reached out to Brittany from Talent Bridge right then, like, hey, yo, Britt, I know I left, but this ain't it. She was like, see, you should have stayed over here, whatever. I'm like, hey, I don't need to hear all that. And so she like, well, take the test anyway, because if you pass, even if I'm placing you, that'll help. Like, you know what I'm saying? It'll boost your resume and your background or whatever. So it'll be probably easy for me to get you a job. So I was like, all right, keep studying or whatever. And I think the test was scheduled it was like a month and a half, if not 2 out, like November. It was scheduled for October. So my oldest birthday come and he living in Georgia. We had a birthday for him here in Charlotte since he was like maybe like 3 or 4 or something like that, because he had been in Alabama and Georgia. And we just would go down there to celebrate. So Drama had been saying, like, see if you could bargain with his mom to get him to have a birthday here. So she agreed with having his birthday here in 2021 in Charlotte over by at Defy Gravity. And she had got really big into like event planning and the decorations and stuff like that for birthdays, graduations, whatever. Like, she gonna spend money. And at the time, I'm like, yo, this could be an actual business. Instead of you spending your money, people will pay you to do it. So I'm trying to convince her, but she was just passionate about it and liked it or whatever. So she got all these balloons, all these decorations and stuff for his birthday. I don't remember off the top of my head what the theme was, but she had got it all or whatever. So we were celebrating that Saturday at Defy Gravity. That Friday night, she was like, I've been having trouble kind of breathing a little bit. So a matter of fact, before then, she had to go to the doctor before because she had a she was like she had a pain in her leg. They turned out to be a blood clot that traveled up to her left arm, and it's crossing your heart. I ain't no doctor, nurse, none of that. But from what my understanding, that's very dangerous, especially if you let it travel up past your heart to her left arm. So they put on blood thinners and medication and stuff like that. And then, like I said, then she had the puncture, and so she got the hole in the leg and having trouble with that or whatever, and couldn't move around like that. So her leg started to heal up, like I said, about 5-6 weeks later. So she, back walking regular or whatever, a little grimace or whatever, but she can move. She's straight. So that goes by, and we get to the day that Friday's like, I'm gonna go here see, what's going on, make sure I ain't got COVID and stuff like that before my oldest birthday. I'm like, all right. So go hang out at the Airbnb, got an Airbnb or whatever. Come back, and I'm going to pick up like my nieces because we got to get all the kids, to the birthday party or whatever. So I'm like picking up nieces and stuff like that, grabbing stuff, and she called me. She's like, "You got the kids yet?" I'm like, "I'm downstairs." They was at it ain't the AC. It might be the AC. No, it ain't the AC. I can't think of the name of it, but it's right across the street from where Midnight Diner's at downtown now, in the bus station, the one that's connected to the Hornets Arena, Spectrum, whatever you call it. So we're there, and she called me, and I'm like, "Have you seen the doctor yet?" She was like, "Nah, but I'm probably finna leave now. I think the doctor coming, whatever." They did an X-ray on me, so they probably finna let me go. And the nurse out here in the background like, "Oh no, baby, you can't go nowhere. You got fluid on your heart. You got to stay." And she, "What? It's my grandson's birthday. I'll call you back." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, she finna go up." So she called me back. And she was like, "Yeah, they said I got fluid on my heart and that's dangerous, so I got to stay." So, again, we done went all these birthdays where we driving down there, and she got all this stuff and ready and, to celebrate. And she missed it. And that broke her. She hated it. So, had to stay in the hospital or whatever. And that started the cycle. It was October the 2nd. That started the cycle of her in the hospital for 4 or 5 days, come home for 2 days, back in the hospital. She ended up having heart failure. Her heart was failing. Like I said, fluid in the lungs, so they'll give her this stuff called Lasix while she was in there through the IV. At a drainer, I'd be peeing like crazy or whatever, run to the bathroom and peeing all the fluid out. And then they sent her home with the pill form. And I guess it just wasn't as potent because the fluid would build back up. She wouldn't be able to breathe. Had to go back. So like I said, home 4 or 5 days. In the hospital 3, 4, 5 days. Home, back. That started October the 2nd. And so during that time, Vanguard, I had it scheduled again. I was like, "Yeah, can we push it back and reschedule?" And I couldn't get FMLA because I hadn't been there, for like 2 months. But my manager was like, "I can write you out, like, on leave, but it just would be unpaid." And it was like, nah, I ain't finna not get paid, so don't worry about it. So, kept going or whatever. And I think I had to take the test on like the 11th or the 12th. I feel like it was the 11th, maybe like that Thursday or something like that. And so she was back. She went back to the hospital that week, I think like that Tuesday or something. And I saw her every other time in the hospital except this one. Now she went, like I say, regular, can't breathe. My aunt was with her this time, and she was like, "I thought she was gone." We've been through some ups and downs before where we thought she was gone, and she dang near died because of me one time or whatever, because her oxygen tank was kinked up and she just was getting no air. So she went that Tuesday. They, doing the Lasix and all that, and she was getting a little bit better. And then they went, I remember it was a Saturday, because I moved into my apartment from her house on November the 1st. Moved on November the 1st. So like I said, it's November the 13th, that Saturday. And she wanted me to, because I had moved out, she was like, "Yeah, I need more protection." She had a little 380, but she wanted a shotgun and a 357. So she gave me the money and was like, "Yeah, I had access to accounts. She could trust me." So she was like, "Yep, take this money, go get the shotgun and the 357. So I went, got the shotgun from a gun show or whatever. And I was like, I was going to get the 357 when I came back. So I talked to her that morning, told her I was going to get it. She was like, "All right, that's good." I'm like, "How you feeling?" She was like, "I'm all right." They saw a mass behind her heart when they did like the x-ray or whatever. And it was like, "We got to go in and see what that is." They let her know the process of going in and looking can be dangerous or whatever. But, we don't know how dangerous it could be. We don't know what that mass is. We need to see it. So she was like, "All right." My mom was a very religious woman and believed in God, Christian and everything. So she was like, "God got me. If it's my time, it's my time. But God got me. Y'all don't worry." So I talked to her that morning. I was like, you okay? She was like, yeah. They're going to go ahead and look. You know what I believe in, so I'm good either way. And she had really got tired of fighting. Like, I remember, we would be talking about, yep, when, 2022 come, we're going to be this, that, and the third, and able to look back at, this is going to be another, part of your trial and tribulation and part of your story, da-da-da, whatever. And we'll be talking like that, and she would be, yep. And I remember because she was really close to her aunt, which was my great aunt, my Aunt Cheetah, and they used to like to go to the casino or go gamble and play slot machines. And she was like, she knew that Aunt Cheetah was gone. She was like, yep. Talking about going to Cherokee to the slot machine, and Aunt Cheetah was like, yeah, no, ain't no more Cherokee for me. She was like, she could tell something similar with her. We was talking one day, and I was like, she was like, yeah, I just can't. I said something about like, yep, when this get by, something like that. She was like, yeah, no, I just can't wait till it's over. I was like, yeah, she was like, no, like, I can't wait till it's over, and that this is over. Before till this is over was like until I get past this and I'm back healthy. This till it's over, I'm done fighting. I don't give a damn how it ends. I love y'all, but I'm tired. If this how I'ma live, I'm good with leaving. If I get better, cool, but I'm okay with it going the other way at this point. So, like I said, the same way she said she knew what I cheated in, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna beat this one. So, like I said, I talked to her that day on the 13th, and they did whatever they're supposed to do. They put her under, and that night they called, and they was like, yeah, I don't remember they said she had a seizure or a heart attack or what, but whatever, one of those two, like a medical emergency while she was under. And the doctors came in and was like, she's a vegetable, like she not in there. She had been stated, if I'm ever in a vegetative state, y'all let me go. Don't hang on to me. I go be with my Lord, my mama, Aunt Cheetah, my Aunt Angela. I go be with all them. So, yeah, I think it might have been like 5 or 6 in the morning. My cousin rang, just like a sister to me. She called. Because I them at the hospital. I don't go to funerals. I don't go to hospitals when people on their deathbed. You got surgery, you broke your leg, something like that. Got you. But for me, I don't want to go and be with somebody dying because, especially they got tubes in them, they not able to talk. The soul that I know, that person isn't there. You know what I'm saying? They just sitting there dying. Nah, I want to see you with your energy and vibrant, whatever. So for me, whatever your last memory of my last memory of that person being up and on the go, that's what I want to be my last memory. Not them in a casket with this white ass face because they got all the makeup on. No knock to anybody that goes, but I ain't been to a funeral in 20 years since I was 16. I'm 36 now. My Uncle Albert funeral, which I'm guessing 2004, 2005, one of them two. That's the last funeral I went to and my mom made me go. I ain't been to one since. Whatever. So, like I said, my cousin rang, called her. She was just like, she gone. Because my step-pops, all them, they had to make the decision. He's a husband, legally, so he had to make the decision to pull the plug. So, he there, my sister there, my brother there, her sister, my Aunt Bridget, Mia, because Mia like a daughter, my cousin, I was saying, stayed with us. And, like we all knew that she had said that. And so I'm like the last yay or nay, on it or whatever. And so he was like, I'm sorry, da-da-da, whatever. It's what she wanted. She not in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, medical miracles happen, but she didn't want to wait for a medical miracle. She said, if they tell y'all I'm gone, y'all let me go. So they pulled the plug. Like I said, I wasn't there. Maybe I suppressed it. I don't remember exactly how long, what time they pulled it, how long she stayed alive. Like I said, I just know it was about between 5 and 7 a.m. My cousin rang, called, and she was just like, she gone. So I lost my job, like I said, 2-3 days. Well, I lost my job that Friday, 2 days before, or a day and a half. Not even a full day and a half, like 30-something hours before she passed. And so you're dealing with that, just moved and all that. And so, like I said, that was mid-November. I lost TIAA November the 30th. I lost Vanguard now November 13th, I think 12th, November the 12th, that Friday. And here we are today. Now, lost LPL full-time December the 4th. So I don't know what it is about December, but whatever. So like I said, that was that with Vanguard. Same thing, got right back to it, reached out to Britt, because I didn't get the 7, of course. Reached out to Britt. She was like, yep, I got a contract, I could throw you right back on. And I knew, like I said, I wanted to get in that fraud space, but it was still, I take whatever I can get. But I'm kind of, got a little bit of experience learning myself, and I'm like really trying to get over there to that fraud space. So, excuse me. I remember She was like, yep, I could throw you right back on being a repapering specialist, what I was doing before, for that 6 months. And I was like, grateful, I'll take it. But I kind of, got a vision now, and I know the career I want to head in. If you could get something with fraud or compliance, that would be preferred. But if not, then I'll take that. And she was like, you know what? I actually have a compliance position open. The guy wants somebody with more experience, but, I'll see if I can sell you. Worst case scenario, he says no. I'm like, cool, we'll do the other one. So she reached out to him. His name was Daniel Arnold, because the CEO, VP of LPL was Daniel Arnold. I think he just lost his job, got fired like last month. So we all out of LPL. You got to laugh. I take all the laughter I can get, man, even in those dark moments. I love laughter. So I ended up talking to him, and if I remember correctly, I want to say he went to UNC Charlotte as well. And I think his degree is actually in criminal justice, but the compliance we were doing wasn't in like that fraud space. So it was dealing with like new accounts and stuff like that or whatever, and bringing in new accounts, which is similar to what I was doing for the repapering specialist. So when I was a repapering specialist, I was making like transporting over the new accounts, just typing information, data entry, right? Cool. What we did here was review them to make sure that the information was still correct. So the advisor would come in, or whatever, we'll put all the information, all their credentials and stuff. So they have what's called an F450. No, that's not an F450. Excuse me. That's the ADV brochure. What I was just doing for it was the F450. The ADV brochure, you would, they could, I guess, give it to the clients or whatever to see like, hey, this is who I am. This is my good, my bad, my ugly as far as my profession. So we was doing those. So I interviewed with him. He wanted somebody that had experience. Technically, I didn't, but when we get to talking, it's a good thing he took the call, because he was like, yeah, so we do ADV brochures, and I let him finish. And he was like, yeah, so you don't have any experience? I was like, well, actually, the contract I was on with Brittany all 2020, or for 6 months in 2021, was building the ADV brochure, so I'm familiar. And he's like, yeah, so we wrapping it. You a better fit than I thought. Like I said, he had a criminal justice degree, if I remember correctly, and he went to UNC Charlotte. And, so somebody gave him a chance, and he knows, because he don't have an account, finance, business degree. And he's a manager in this same sector with the criminal justice degree. So I think it kind of was like, you know what, if somebody gave me a chance and this guy's talking right and he excelled, doing that, yeah, I think he'd be a good fit. So he's like, I'm going to give you a shot. Smooth. So started that in January. Contract is supposed to be for 6 months, right? I remember I started January the 18th. January 18th, 2022, I started contract. I'm like, yes. Sidebar. I had an interview with Truist for their financial crimes. So what I wanted, right? Got an interview. I think it was 2 interviews, like initial, whatever. Then there was like a long one. So during the second interview, both of them, home run at the park, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, Big Poppy, right? Knocked the interviews at the park. So after the last interview, me and the lady were on the phone for like 30 minutes after the interview or whatever, just talking. Like I said, I interviewed well, so I'm like, man, I ain't gonna count my chickens for the hatch, but I kind of did my thing with that one. So I'm like, hey, what'll be, how long will it be before, and I think this was in November, because this was before I even applied to LPL or whatever. So all this happened in November, like within a week and a half, like 2 or 3 interviews, right? All either, like I say, Zoom or just on the phone. So, and I think the first one we might have did Zoom, the second one, my Zoom was acting up. So we just did it on like a phone call, which she was fine with because she had already met me. So she was like, yep. By like the first week of December, a week and a half at the longest, you'll hear back yes or no, because that'd be my thing. Don't have me just sitting over here in limbo. I don't care if you're going to send a little, generic thank you, we went with another candidate email, or you're not in consideration. Just let me know so I'm not sitting hoping I got this job. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, sitting here or whatever, wait, and never hear back. I already got the LPL in hand, so cool. So me just being who I am, I'm like, nah, that don't sit well with me. So I email in January, like maybe 2 weeks before I start with LPL on the 18th. Like, hey, I never heard back. Was a position filled? Because I saw it reposted or whatever. So I was like, I responded to an internal email to the person or whatever. And like, oh my God, we're so sorry you slipped through the cracks. We were supposed to be back out. So they reply, get over to the hiring manager. Hiring manager called me back. And she like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe that we let you slip through, we got to do another interview. And she was like, but we're just going to talk. Like, it's not even going to be an interview because I know you was a good candidate based on whatever. She was like, and I'm like, hey, am I going to hear back this time? Yes or no? I just want to know. She was like, I promise you it won't be. Was on the phone for about 15 minutes just rapping like it was before. Not even on interview because you already got my interview. Still ain't hear back from her. It done been 3 years. Almost 4. Horrible. Anyway, Well, no, almost 3 years. So anyway, start with LPL, 6-month contract, boom, killing it. Like how I said I was trash at the other jobs. No, I'm doing my big one at this one, like to the point where the ladies that were training me, and not that I'm somebody trying to do, but I'm an efficient worker, especially if I'm focusing into something I like doing. So like, as they're training me, they're both older than me, respect to both of them, but they're not as tech savvy or as fast as I am. So I'm like, as they showing me something, but once I get the hang of it, and then I'm doing stuff with it, I kind of see why y'all so far behind. Y'all move kind of on the slow side, especially one more so than the other, because she ain't typing. Like, it could be, let's say, a date. Today, like I say, is December 4th, 2024. 12//4//2024. She would go over to another page to copy that and then come back and paste later. That take me 2 seconds to type. So I couldn't stand sitting and having a shadow because bro, just give me something to read. I can learn this faster reading it. She's moving so slow. So like I said, I get in, 6-month contract, start January, 6.5, 7, because it was supposed to end in August. Start January 18th, let's say like 3 weeks of training or something like that. Then like kind of guided another week, of working or whatever, and then watching me like for some hours. Then like, so a month, 5 weeks or whatever, I'm on my own. So this is like February, right? Last week of February. That was behind, like I say, that was behind 2 years. The man, Daniel called me, again, I started January the 18th. Daniel called me, I want to say it was the first week of April the 4th or something like that. 4/4, 4/5, 4/6, somewhere in that first week, right? And it was like, hey, got some good news and some bad news. Why people always got good? Why it can't just be good news? Why y'all gotta have bad news for me? So I'm like I said with Mr. Grant, my bad news first. Let's get the BS out the way. He's like that. Bad news. He's like, you know how you been killing and moving kind of fast? I'm like, yeah. He was like, well, yeah, the contract was 6 months. The bad news is you finished a 6-month contract in 2 months. I have no work left for you. And it was a small team. I knew that coming in, and he let me know, like, no matter how good I did at the time, he didn't have room on his team. So he was like, yeah, like, if I could hire you, I would, because you got us caught up from 2 years ago in not even 2 full months. Like, yeah. Well, that sounds like you let me go. So what's the good news? He's like, the good news, I already sold you to another manager in another department. He's interested in talking to you, whatever. So he's going to call you. I'm like, okay. So sitting there waiting. And the manager, his name was Bo. Bo reached out. Bo talked. Like, I've been talking this whole time, but there's nobody to talk back to. Like, if I was talking to somebody, I'd pause, listen, let them say what they got to say, inquire, but I wouldn't just be cutting them off. Bo just talked. So let's say like we had I'm going to say 10, 15 minute conversation, and I talked for 3, maybe 4 minutes answering. So no, I'm going to say between 2 and 4 minutes. 2 to 4 minutes. So if it was 10 minutes, he talked for 8. He asked me like 2 or 3 questions. Oh yeah, no, I like you. And then just told me what the job was and kept rapping. If it was 15 minutes, I talked for 4. And he still talked for the whole 11. Long story short, he was just rambling. Bro was just yapping. But it was cool though, because I got the job. That's all I cared about. So again, now I got the building ADV experience, ADV brochure experience. I got the pretty much auditing, because that's what we was doing, auditing ADV brochure experience. And so I end up over here in what's called a RESA, dealing with like retirement accounts or whatever. And I learned that training, cool. So I start, like saying, April. They got me training, following behind a guy that started, I think, he started in December of 2021, because his 3-year anniversary. If it ain't the day, it's like maybe by Friday. So happy anniversary, Drew. So I'm training, he training me or whatever. And then they, all right, we're going to kind of watch you or whatever, give you some to play with, see how you do or whatever. And then once they took the leash off, like I said, I started in April. And he was like, we have you got a certain amount of time to do them. So don't go too fast, because they may take some of that time away. Bro, I'm on contract. I ain't trying to hear none of that. I'm knocking them things out. So I did my thing or whatever, to the point where they extended me twice on the contract. They extended me twice. And the project, like I said, I did my thing. Like, I did a good job. And they brought on 2 other temporary people when my first extension came, but they didn't extend them because they weren't doing anything. So they extended me one more time, and then November, I think it was November the 30th, last day of November, start of December, one of the two was like, yeah, we ain't got no more work for you. We ain't got, like I say, Bo was a temporary manager or whatever, so they wasn't bringing me on or whatever. Maybe they ain't had a budget, whatever. So it was like, all right, whatever. So I'm just out here lifting all December, all January, and I want to say, let's say it was February. February, Britt reached out to me and was like, hey, one of the guys got promoted internally at LPL from Bo team. He told me to see if you still need a job. I had interviewed with this company up in, I want to say it was Mooresville or Statesville. One of them, up 77 if you're from Charlotte. Going up 77, I interviewed with a company up there. It was more than I had ever made. Wasn't breaking the bank, but it was more than I had ever made. And I think they worked in the office 3 days a week, I feel like. So it was hybrid. All right, so I'm going to have to put, I still had, no, I ain't had a little bit. Did I have a little bit? No. My baby cousin, I had her all 2022, and then her mom got her back the end of 2022. She done had her since. So I was like, all right, well, I ain't got to put her in. All I had to work out was my youngest son before school care or whatever, or getting to school. We're going to work it out. So, like I said, I applied to the job. I know that one was 4 interviews. This was off of LinkedIn too. Interview with the recruiter, interview with the manager, interview with his team, and then interview with the higher ups or whatever above the manager. Recruiter, love me. Manager, love me. Team, solid. And it was kind of balanced because it was a Caucasian, a white man and a white woman on the team, and then there was a sister, a black woman on the team. And I just feel like it was cool, perfect. The manager was I think Middle Eastern or whatever, and he wanted that balance and talking about the diversity or whatever. And he was like, I feel you'll be a great fit. We haven't had this position, and you'll kind of be a jack of all trades, learning different stuff, positions, and building a cyber site and all that, stuff that they ain't even did and I ain't did. So I'm always trying to get as much as I can in my tool bag, add to my resume. So I'm like, cool, this sounds solid. All right. So, like I say, knocked them 3 interviews out, right? He the last interviews with the higher ups. Now, I ain't redid my LinkedIn picture since maybe, I think, 2021. So, if you see me on LinkedIn, I'm suited and booted. Waves floating, right? Nice smile. And my beard is a little more kept. I got braids now. So, he sees I have braids. The team see I got braids. Those higher ups in that office, they might have been okay with me when they saw me suited and booted with the low cut. When this young color boy, all this brown skin, walked in that office and had braids. Now, it was fresh braids. Just got them done, lined up, beard looking good. But this isn't what we saw. This Negro here got braids. We not rocking with that. And I said Negro. I don't say the N-word, whatever. So, the look in the interview, it was you could cut the tension with a butter knife. Yeah, I'm not getting this job. If it was on the first 3 interviews, I'm in there, baby. These people aren't hiring me. And so you had some of them that was trying to, still go through the motions and they was really, interested in hiring me. But the head person was an Asian guy, and his energy was just, we ain't got to do this. So let's say we in there, the interview takes maybe 30, 45 minutes. They got, I think 1 or 2 other people on the big jumbotron that couldn't be there physically, and they're, speaking as well. So I always go to interviews and I got questions prepared, then did my research. I'm making my experience relevant to the role as much as possible. Again, the manager loves me. He sees I would be a great fit. And so we go through the interview, and the Asian guy, I forgot what he said, but again, I've been kind of his tap dancing this whole interview anyway. I see this, he's not hiring me. If it's on him specifically, and they didn't he's the boss, you're not getting this job. So we get towards the end, I done ask some questions and stuff, and I got more questions, but it's I'm not even finna ask my questions because I'm not getting this job. So they asked and I think the manager could see I had more questions or whatever. So they asked something, I was nah, that's it. And he kind of looked let me try to save it. I asked him, so hey Manuel, tell him about where you, and I kind of looked and I shook my head like, it's all right. I appreciate you, but you see it, I see it. I'm not getting this. You don't have the control, the say so above him to we hire him. You can't veto. He vetoes you. He not hiring me, dog. You see it, I see it. So I answered the question, whatever, left out. I ain't got that. So that's exactly what happened. He hit me. He didn't hit me. The recruiter that got me the interview, he hit me. Was like, yeah, the manager was doing a bunch of cussing and he was pissed off and da da da. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's what it is, right? So I don't get that. I ended up, what happened next? My brother's birthday is March 6th. So I remember I was at my cousin Ryan's house on March the 6th. And a lady I knew from way back when I was working at the rec center, so I hadn't seen her since, I feel like 2016, because they had displaced us all. Dubsy, I was at Dubsy, but they sent me back to my home center, Southview, West Boulevard, Boulevard Homes or whatever, Little Rock. They sent me over there. And they had like a program. I feel like she was with the seniors, working with the. No, she was with the kids, working with the kids. So she was working with the kids, or whatever. And like I say, LinkedIn. I seen her on LinkedIn, and she was like recruiting. So I was like, hey, da da da. Hope all is well, whatever. And just regular convo. She spoke back, and somehow we got on work, or whatever. And she was like, she reached out to me that day on my brother's birthday, like, yo, I got a job. I think, yeah, that's what it was. Somehow we ended up talking. She was like, hey, I just want to catch up. So we got on the phone, we caught up or whatever, just talking regular. And I'm like, yeah, I'm actually in between, da da da. She was like, that's like what I staff for financial institutions. I'm like, well, if you see something, holla at her brother, let me know something. And so she did. She reached back out. Like I said, it was March the 6th. It was my brother's birthday because I'm at my cousin's house. My brother ended up pulling up and my aunt there. And so she called me or whatever. And she was like, yo, got a job. They want to interview you tomorrow. So whatever the 7 was, they want to interview tomorrow. And they're talking about starting like within the next 2 weeks. Okay. So do the interview. Like I say, typically interview well. At least I'm going to be relaxed and I'm going to have questions. So knocked the interview at the park. And the red flag should have been there. It seemed kind of desperate. But I'm asking the manager, like, after the interview, hey, when will I hear back? She was like, you're hearing back right now, the day of the interview. You're hearing back right now, like, I'm okay with you starting tomorrow. Lady, I ain't had nobody training. And so she was like, well, can you start on Monday? And I was like, yeah, Monday works. So that Monday worked. So that would have made it, I can't see the calendar, but I got no calendar in the car with me. But I started that next Monday, and I already had paid for a vacation from the 17th to the 20th. So, like, that I'm gonna be there that first week, and I'm gonna miss something, and they was fine with that. Yeah, I see smoke. I be smelling smoke, but I don't be seeing the flames. So, like I said, I'm like, hey, it's better than nothing. I've already heard from Britt, but I ain't heard back from Britt about going to LPL. So, take the and it's a contract, so I take the contract. Start. This the only job I've had in office since 2020, since I been in this financial service space. So, I'm going over there 5 days a week. And I find out that their turnover rate, I don't know the ratio, but she'd been in that position of power in the last 18 months. She'd only had 2 people make it past 30 days. I forgot the guy's name, but he was still there. And the girl they both had been there like 5 or 6 months. The girl last day was my first week there. Or my second week, whatever. She was leaving as soon as I got there. So outside of them 2, and one of them leaving out. Everybody else, be there for a month, leave. Be there for 2 weeks, leave. Be there 3 weeks, leave. So I get in there, and you start to see why. Her managerial style was different. I put it that way. It was very different. So, what happened? So I've been talking for 2 whole hours. I be yapping. You hear me? Like, I could have watched a movie. I could have done a lot of stuff for these last 2 hours. But this is my therapy. Whatever. So what did I do? Oh yeah, I started. Now, the job, once I learned it, like, cool, this move is easy. Now, of all the jobs I've done working in this financial service space, this was the most complex. This also paid Now, the first contract paid the least, but it didn't pay great. It paid the second lowest that I've made working in financial services, and it demanded way more. And I got to be in the office every day. No, you need to up your pay. So, like I said, I'm doing that job. I'm killing it, but you know, like I said, having to work out stuff with the kids and all that, it wasn't it. It wasn't it, especially long term. Now I appreciate it. It helped me pay the bills. I'm full time, whatever, but something got to give. But this ain't it. So, like I said, I do that before I started March. Like I said, that 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere around there, and then LPL comes back. Let's say 2 or 3 weeks after I started, and they're like, yeah, you know, so we're ready to do the interview. So I gotta do the interview while I'm working here. So I gotta run downstairs tight, and it's like, when you're working here, you need to be here, like, you know, working, cause it's like chain, like assembly line, like an assembly line. So you got certain stuff you need to do. Boop, you do this, hand it off to the next person. They do this, da da da, whatever. So you have little minutes, you know, where you might be free, but ain't really no like rundown. I don't smoke, but if you need a smoke break, this ain't the job where you know, I think legally you can schedule smoke breaks and the manager smoke, but nah, with certain parts of the day, it's, hey, you need to be at your desk because we finna do XYZ. Then we're gonna run this through. Then, you know, then we're gonna do ABC, then DEF. Like, it required you to be there. So it's like, I feel you, sis, but forget that. I got this interview. So I think I had like 3 interviews with LPL. Again, interview with the manager. He already know me or whatever. We didn't never meet while I was on the contract, but he, you know, seen my work, and that's why he came. Hey, tell him that I hired him because he did his thing. So interview with him and somebody else, and I think the third one was like a panel interview or whatever. So again, I ain't never played baseball in my life, baby. I'm trash at it. I ain't gonna hold you. I go to the batting cages. Suck. I'm better at hitting, going to a golf driving range than baseball. Well, I don't know. It's been a minute. My hand-eye coordination might be better now. We'll see. Anyway, so I 3 for 3 at bat, hit him at the park, kiss the crowd, flip the bat. Cool. Again, I'm already a shoe-in. Nothing guaranteed. One kind of eggs before they hatch, but kind of shoe-in for this because he wanted me. He know what I can do, you know. So do the interview, and they're like, you should hear back. I think it was around spring break. So they're like, spring break is next week. So in like 2 weeks, that week after, you'll hear back. Smooth, say less. 2 weeks go by. 3 weeks go by. Almost a month. So it's like, and during that time, so when I came in, it was me, this older lady, and a young brother. Excuse me. I think the young brother, I don't know what happened with him. I think he's from like Pennsylvania, maybe. I don't know what happened with him, but he was gone before we finished training, and like didn't come back. So I think somebody been on his background or whatever. But the older lady, she was still there and working. And like I say, the manager style don't work for everybody. It wouldn't work for me. It dang sure wasn't working for her. Like, she was having to quit. Here, take the key.
Oh.
Open the door. I'll be in a minute.
All right.
No. No. And go brush your teeth. You got chips on your teeth. So, oh, here, I didn't open it. So, my bad. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. The lady, it wasn't working. Oil and water. Like, she had said, I'm going to beat her ass. Whoa. And these ladies are like, they 50s. Like 50-year-old white ladies. And not like wretched white ladies either. I'm going to whoop her ass. I got to get out of here. I'm like, hey, yo, you get out of here then, dog. Because don't be fighting people and you want to contract. Don't fight at work anyway. But they ain't sure know why you on the contract. So she ends up talking to the manager's manager and like, yo, can I work a different, what?
Can we get on the games?
Not right now. Go do your homework. Give me my key.
I don't have any, so all I need to do is read.
Okay, go eat something. I'll be in a minute. So, my bad. I could have paused it, but whatever. So, she goes to the manager, and like, again, small, all this is in like one office. So it's like they gonna see each other all day, even if she moved to another team. So she, asked him about that or whatever. And he like, we'll see what we could do. But it's a small team, like small group, and like very specialized positions. And this is like entry level. All the other ones, you almost need like some certs, an accounting degree or something like that. And I think hers in like art or something. So this wasn't it. So she was like, you know what? This ain't working. And it's taking time away from my daughter. I do gig work and something else, and I figure it out. But I'm out of here. Put in her 2 weeks notice with no job lined up. I'm like, again, I only done did that once. And that was, like I say, I knew I had opportunities that would come in. You know what I'm saying? And my connections, I could get some. She just was like, I don't give a, I'm going to be done fault her. I got to go. So I'm like, oh, wow. So she left. And literally, I want to say, if not 2 weeks, a week after she put in her 2 weeks notice, we sitting there. It was a big fire. Rest in peace. I don't know the dude's name, but it was a big fire, like not too far from where we were working in South Park. People that's from here remember, like I said, this is 2023, so it was last year. And Buddy posted, like he on social media, like asking for help or whatever. I just said it because we was like not too far from that building. So it was that week when I got the call. So I get a call, and and I always put in my, hello, this is Emmanuel, how can I help you? When I'm, looking for jobs and stuff like that or whatever. So I get a call and I'm like, hello, and hey, this is such and such from LPL. Hey, one moment. Dip off downstairs or whatever. What's going on? So just want to call in, let you know that this is your verbal offer. We will be just hearing that, cool. And the guy whose anniversary I was talking about is coming up, or might be today or whatever, with the job. He came in with more experience and told me what he came in making. So I'm like, all right, smooth. I'm going to try to negotiate up to, that lady came in and offered me $5,000 over the ceiling I was going to try to ask for. Would that work? I lost my cool for a second. Had to remember who I was. Yeah, I think I can accept that. That's fine. So, like I say, did that or whatever. Accepted, got the job, and a year and, 7 months? Because I started, I think, May the 29th, May 30th or something like that, 2023. So, yeah, about a year and a half of working at LPL. And, I don't know. Like I say, for the most part, I did pretty solid with reaching or beating deadlines. Like, I think, let's say, I try to do between, 8 to 12 accounts a day, right? So about 10 is, your ideal sweet spot or whatever. About 10 accounts a day. And when I look today, I think I said today is Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think I said I would have been done by Tuesday. So let's say roughly I had 50 accounts left. So I'd have been done, December the 9th, 10th, something like that. And that work was I wasn't supposed to be done with it until December 31st. Like I had until the end of the year. So it wasn't because I wasn't doing my job. You know what I'm saying? And they said that I'm laid off. It's not based on performance. They're doing some restructuring and reorganizing, which I saw that, like I said, you just had the VP and the president get, he didn't get laid off. He got fired. And they let it be known publicly, effective, immediate. And it was a random meeting, I think on a Tuesday, hey, all hands on emergency meeting on Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, so the CEO, vice president, he got fired yesterday. And it was what is going on here? He got let go. Like I said, I've been working on getting in the fraud space. So during that time of 2023, last year before, might have been 2022, going into 2023, I had been real heavy on LinkedIn, reaching out, making connections and stuff like that with people in the fraud industry. And there was a guy that worked for LPL in the fraud department, and he was like a manager. So like I said, I made connections with him. He was like, yeah, if you ever get over here, you need something, holler at me, whatever. So my manager kind of pointed out to me if it wasn't November, it was the end of October. And he said something to the effect of technically you shouldn't have this job because you don't got, all the licenses or whatever. And it was like, well, okay, well, I plan on, like I said, my plan was to stay. I didn't want to just seem like I came in, got the job, said F the team, and then went over to the, to fraud. Nah, I'm going to sit over here and kick it for a minute, whatever. That was my plan. So I was like, all right, we're going to see. So May, like I said, May would have made 2 years. So I was like, if I can get to about May, then I'll try to, over there to the fraud department or whatever. I gave them 2 years. That seemed fair to me, unless, it's like now or never type situation. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. So that was my plan. And so after my manager said that to me, I reached out to the guy that I knew that was the manager of the fraud department. Like, hey, I've been here for, about 1.5 years now and looking, towards getting over there. You got something over there or anybody I could talk to or you could put a word in for me, whatever. He was like, oh, no, man, technically, like they had already got him his walker papers. Like they let our department know a few months ago that they were moving our whole department to the new, whatever they built out west in Arizona. And it was like, that was my fallback. Like, I think it'll be way easier to transition, just boop, boop, change some stuff in the system versus me trying to go get a whole nother job and training and time in between where you're not getting paid and all that. So it's like, you just killed my plan. Really, that was my plan A. I mean, plan B is get another job, but why would you tell me? What's going on? So he was like, yeah, I think it was like either the end of that week or the next week. He was like, yeah, that's like, how far they paid him out or whatever, which is where I'm currently at now. So I was like, all right, well, thanks. So he let me know that or whatever. And it was like, still, I stick around, do my thing up until, like I said, if I could get to, I wanted to at least get to my bonus because we had the bonus in like March. So it was like, all right, end of January. So, I mean, I was going to be applying anyway, but, I was going to have consistent income still coming in or whatever. So it was like, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to pay. I'm going to keep working, doing my job that I'm doing because it's not a hard job. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at it. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until, like I say, I'm going to keep doing it until I get another job. That was the plan. But I was going to keep doing it and start applying towards the end of January because I was like, don't be overconfident. Like, I'm going to get a job like that. Like I say, I be on LinkedIn and I'm back in that ocean now. I see everybody with the green banners. I just put my green banner back up after they talk to me. Yes.
Can I, if I start reading or can I?
No, you can read when I get in there.
Oh, well, I was going to ask, should I eat a breakfast hot dog or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I was like, I see that everybody don't turn around and just get a job like that. And I haven't got one just like that. It'd be, some weeks, sometimes some months. So it's like, all right, let me at least get to my bonus. If I can get to my bonus, that'll have me, float me and hold me. I'll have that. I still plan on work. So I didn't plan on having really a lapse in employment because I was going to work up until I got an offer and a start date and then let them know, hey, I'm going over here, starting on this day. So it would be, all right, let's say maybe take a week off or whatever, a week in between. And then I'm over here and I'm on a clock or whatever, but I still get paid that last week there, whatever. So that was the plan. And even if it worked out that way, I still have my bonus, and taxes coming right around then. So it's like, I got both of them. We in the game, But they had other plans. So here we are today. Like I say, I guess it would have been like 3 hours ago, maybe 3.5 hours or something like that. I was informed that I am no longer gainfully employed. Today is my last day. And like I said, still got to figure that out because the lady said that I get paid up until the 13th. Like I said, so, that's some money. And then, which I guess that would be, what's today? Today the 4th. So, yeah, I get paid up until next Friday. If today the 4th to 6th. Yeah, so I get paid for another week. I get paid up until next Friday, which by my calculations, yeah, that's a whole nother check. So I appreciate that. That was, that was solid or whatever. So I get another check. And then, like she said, I get paid for 4 weeks after that. So about a month and a half. So put you at about mid-January where that's what, pay and severance. And then, like I said, you're talking the bonus. So, like I say, I just be out here, be a delivering and lifting brother and doing all my, doing applications and making connections with people and, trying to see if I can weasel my way in somewhere else. But I'm committing today to, I got no job now. I'm going to the gym for at least an hour to an hour and a half a day. That's every day. Even if I don't do nothing but stretch and soak, I'm going to the gym for an hour to an hour and a half a day. I'm going to be lifting or something, like I said, 8 hours or a couple $100, whichever one come first. But I'm going to be doing that. And I'm putting in at least every day at minimum an hour into getting this bookkeeping thing out the ground and learning it. So, like I said, ain't nothing but a couple $100 to get the LLC or whatever. And go ahead and, like I said, get to studying. So by the time 2025 get here, if all goes as planned, that'll be my gift to myself to have my LLC already up and going. So, maybe January 1, 2025, we could be operational, or at least, legit. And then it's just making them calls every day, trying to obtain clients. And it would be really nice, can't nobody tell the future, but it would be really nice to look back. And I guess, the day where we mark it will be December the 4th or whatever. But to look back and in a year's time, I don't care if it ain't but 2 or 3. I know that I'm going to get clients, like I can do Fiverr and I think it's Upwork. Like, gig, but like have recurring clients that, that's my bookkeeper. You know what I'm saying? And even if I find some other business, especially anything dealing with math or money or whatever, but I'm committed, man. Today is day. It's either gonna be. I always say it's either gonna be one day or day one. Today is day one. Like, that was something that I was supposed to have been more committed to anyway, and I know that I was, a bit distracted or whatever. Not that the work was an issue at all, but like I said, car troubles, had to get another car, not having a car, cars being down, and then having other stuff to pay, and old bills, and just a bunch. So with having to get everything worked out or whatever, it was challenging at times or whatever, but I'm in a good space, and I'm glad that I recorded this. Like I said, I typically don't I'm not a social media person, so I know I ain't posting this on like social media, but I got my doctorate at YouTube. If YouTube could hire me, like, watch videos or whatever, that'd be dope. Cause like, I listen to, like, while I was at work, what is it, 10,000? I got over 10,000 hours of YouTube time. I'm gonna see if I can find how much YouTube I don't watch, cause I be on here, like, learning stuff though, not just for entertainment, but I be learning stuff too or whatever. But I don't know, man. This is therapeutic, and I don't know. Like I said, I might post it, and if somebody want to watch 2 hours and about 30 minutes, I was yapping a long time, but yeah, I'm gonna keep this vlogging thing going, man, cause I don't know. It feel good to record and say what I needed to say, whether it be to myself or to the world. But I don't know. I'm out. Peace. Thanks.